Chapter 5876. Yao Guang roared, letting out an earth-shattering roar. The three black holes around her quickly expanded. Previously, it was 3 parts of heaven and earth. Now it was devouring the world. This world, give me power. Not good. Retreat quickly. The people around were terrified. Some people ran too slowly and were instantly swallowed by the black holes. Then their bodies split open and turned into power. Damn it, this guy is crazy. Is he going to become the enemy of the world? Everyone roared in horror. Yao Guang laughed loudly. So what if I become the enemy of the world? I just want to devour the world. You are all just my power. Be prepared to die. The 3 black holes devoured endless power and became more and more terrifying, sweeping toward Lin Xian. 3 parts of heaven and earth? Then watch me. 6 paths of reincarnation. In Lin Xian's eyes, the power of reincarnation bloomed, and the divine fire and immortal qi seeds merged into it. The divine fire fragments jumped, the immortal qi fragments danced, and the power of the dragon's sword soul also merged into it. Among the 6 paths, the heaven, earth, and human paths suddenly erupted with power. The heaven path fused with the divine fire seed. The earth path fused with the immortal qi seed, and the human path fused with the dragon's sword soul. It suddenly erupted. The 3 paths fought against 3 parts. Boom! Boom! There was a shocking collision. Everyone was terrified. The entire area was turned into nothingness. Dragon City shook violently. But at this moment, Dragon Head raised its head and roared. Inside Dragon City, all of the dragon tribe members cooperated with Dragon raises its head to resist. They roared, "The dragon race will never surrender." This force condensed into a transcendent force that swept across the world and blocked the black holes in the sky. On the other side, Lin Xian's mood was even more unstable. Among the 6 paths of reincarnation, the heaven, earth, and human paths erupted with power that swept across the world. It actually suppressed 3 parts of heaven and earth. Damn it, how could it be like this? I don't believe it. Yao Guang was angry. Her demonic, sky-devouring technique couldn't do anything to the other party? Impossible. She shouted coldly, and 2 weapons appeared in 2 of the black holes. Those were 2 broken weapons. However, they were extremely terrifying. One was a broken spear, and the other was a broken fan. As soon as the 2 weapons appeared, they brought forth an earth-shattering power. Fear rose in everyone's hearts. This weapon was definitely out of the ordinary. Although it wasn't an extreme weapon, it was enough to make one's hair stand on end. The 2 weapons flew towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered and blocked the broken fan with his Zhu Xian sword. As for the broken spear, Lin Xian used the universe ring. The universe ring knocked the broken spear away. Yao Guang's arm cracked from the impact. Lin Xian swung his sword and slashed out. His fighting spirit was high. Every strike caused the earth to shake and the mountains to shake. Sword qi surged forward like an avalanche. At this moment, Lin Xian was truly like a peerless god of war. Yao Guang could only passively defend. Even so, he was still beaten to the point where he was forced to retreat. Lin Xian shouted coldly, "Yao Guang, where's your trump card? Where's your attack? Make your move. Let me see the might of you devouring 100,000 experts." Every word of his was filled with immense power. Lin Xian was like a peerless god of war, unstoppable. Yao Guang felt very aggrieved. Was he being suppressed? Damn it. The meridians in his body had turned into black holes, spinning nonstop. At this moment, he had also completely turned into a vortex. His entire body, starting from his arms, rapidly changed. He turned into a human-shaped vortex and suddenly pounced on Lin Xian. Go to hell. In an instant, he enveloped Lin Xian. Not good. The surrounding people were all stunned. City Lord, the people of the dragon race shouted. The Crimson Dragon and the Hellfire Dragon were also worried. This Yao Guang was too crazy. Did he refine himself too? Unbelievable. You didn't expect it, right? I'm a vortex myself, so you can't kill me. Yao Guang smiled wryly. His voice sounded in the black hole. Lin Xian was also surprised. You're really ruthless, even to yourself. However, do you think you can kill me by turning into a black hole? You're too naive, because my body is also a treasure body. I've also tempered myself into a peerless divine sword. Lin Xian's body bloomed with endless sunlight. He seemed to have turned into a divine sword of the sun, sharp and unstoppable. Every bone contained peerless power. At this moment, they were condensed into one and were really powerful. Lin Xian transformed into a sword and collided with Yao Guang, transformed into a black hole. The two collided again, and the sonorous sound was endless. Boom! Boom! The rumbling sound continued. Gradually, Yao Guang's black hole dimmed, and some places were even split open. That was impossible. He was crazy. At this moment, Lin Xian was getting braver and braver as he fought. Not only did he transform into a peerless sword, but there was also a dragon shadow circling around his body. He transformed into a dragon and a sword. The two forces were fusing, and Lin Xian seemed to be about to transform into a dragon sword. As soon as this aura was released, it directly split the black hole open. Yao Guang vomited blood and was sent flying. No, the split black hole turned into two halves of his body. It wanted to heal, but it couldn't. Damn this power! Yao Guang roared, and the two halves of his body floated in the sky. It was extremely strange. The other people's scalps went numb. The people of the heaven-swallowing python clan were also crazy. Yao Guang was so powerful. How could he not defeat the other party? Lin Wuti was too strong. Lin Xian pointed his sword forward and said in a deep voice, "You lost." Yao Guang snorted coldly. He was indeed defeated. He turned himself into a black hole and was still no match for him. He had no more trump cards. But so what? Lin Wuti, I admit that you are very strong, but I am not weak either. The next time we meet, I will definitely become a great emperor. At that time, if you don't become a great emperor, I will kill you personally. After speaking, Yao Guang soared into the sky. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You still want to leave? Do you think I will let you go? Yao Guang laughed loudly. He ignored Lin Xian and suddenly activated the soul imprint. My purpose this time was not to kill you, but to snatch the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. Now is my real purpose. With a roar, the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar shook violently. Under the lid, the faces of the heaven-swallowing clan leader, the great elder, and the others changed drastically. Damn it, you dare! They were crazy. Yao Guang's purpose was not Lin Wuti, but their extreme weapon. Damn it, this guy did not have good intentions from the beginning. Stop him! The great elder rushed over with the others. However, Yao Guang turned into two black holes and directly swallowed the great elder and the others. The great elder and the others turned into heaven-swallowing pythons and also created black holes to block. However, how could they be a match for Yao Guang? The black holes were swallowed by the black holes. They did not even have time to scream. The first elder and the others had perished. Only one was left, the heaven-swallowing clan leader. The heaven-swallowing clan leader wanted to control the extreme weapon to block. However, he made a wrong decision. He should not have let Yao Guang plant the soul imprint on the extreme weapon, because now Yao Guang could also control the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. Humph! Yao Guang used her soul power, and the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar shook violently. The two were fighting, and for a moment there was a stalemate in the void. Yao Guang slapped out a palm and attacked the heaven-swallowing clan leader. Chapter 58-77. The leader of the sky-devouring clan screamed and flew backward. Half of his body was swallowed. He was so scared that his hair stood on end. Damn it, you're too despicable. The leader of the sky-devouring clan regretted agreeing to Yao Guang's condition. Yao Guang sneered. You're too weak. You have such a treasure, but you're still so weak. If you gave it to me, I would have become a great emperor. Treasure, only the strong can get it. Get out of here. He attacked the leader of the sky-devouring clan crazily, making him vomit blood. The leader of the sky-devouring clan was desperate. However, at this moment, a cold voice sounded. You're right. Only the strong can get the treasure. But do you think you're strong? You can only lower your head in front of me. Lin Xian's voice sounded. Yao Guang's pupils shrank. I have to hurry up. He activated his soul mark crazily. The sky-devouring jar shook violently, trying to take him away. Lin Xian sneered. Yao Guang, you keep saying that you're strong. Today, I'll show you what real strength is. The gap between you and me is like the gap between heaven and earth. Impossible. I don't believe it. What else do you have besides the dragon sword spirit? Yao Guang snorted. He was confident that he was only a little weaker than Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian laughed. Open your eyes and see clearly what absolute suppression is. He opened the sword world, and the power inside rushed out crazily. Full recovery, sky-devouring jar. Boom! The half of the sky-devouring jar under Lin Xian's control suddenly exploded. A boundless black vortex swept across the world, and the power of the extreme Tao pierced through the sky. The entire deity land was startled when it sensed the force. Countless people prostrated themselves on the ground. The people of Divine Dragon City also looked up at the sky. Is the extreme Tao weapon fully recovered? It was incredible. The leader of the sky-devouring clan went crazy and turned to run. Yao Guang's pupils shrank. You have the power to fully recover? That's impossible. He was really crazy. How much energy would it take to fully recover the extreme Tao weapon? Lin Wudi just finished fighting with the 6 major sections. Where did he get the power to fully recover? No, I couldn't accept it. The light-shaking realm cultivator howled in rage. He was also afraid. This power was enough to kill him instantly. He quickly rushed towards the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. But at this moment, the heaven-devouring jar in Lin Xian's hand had already smashed down and swallowed everything. Not only Yao Guang, but even the lid of the heaven-devouring jar and the heaven-devouring clan leader were swallowed up. Boom, 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 the boundless black hole was surrendering. The entire deity ground sank into darkness. It was so dark that he couldn't even see his own fingers. Everyone's hair stood on end. Even the powerful families in the depths of the deity ground were alarmed. Higgin frowned as well. Someone has fully recovered. Is there an extreme weapon? Emperor Baiyu snorted. Ignore them. Our goal is the high heavens. Let's go. These people moved quickly. The black hole in the sky gradually disappeared. The sky-devouring clan leader had already fallen. Yao Guang was also in despair. She was only left with a remnant soul. She wanted to struggle and leave, but in the end, she was stepped on by Lin Xian. Yao Guang had fallen. She had fallen with despair and unwillingness. Lin Xian waved his hand. The lid of the heaven-devouring jar was also suppressed and merged with the heaven-devouring jar. Although it was not subdued, it was thrown into the sword world by Lin Xian. Next, it was not difficult for him to subdue the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. After doing this, the people of Dragon City all walked out. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "You really killed him." Lin Xian used his Rinnegan to check carefully. Then he nodded. Yao Guang is dead. He will never appear again. Don't worry. I'm talking about the heaven-devouring demonic art. It's such a good thing. Why didn't you take his soul? Why did you kill him? Lin Xian shook his head. It's fine if I don't cultivate a forbidden martial art. The others also sighed. Is the heaven-devouring demonic art lost again? It probably won't appear again in the future. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He did not take Yao Guang's soul. However, the heaven-devouring demonic art was not lost. The heaven-devouring demonic art was engraved on the heaven-devouring jar. Lin Xian discovered this the moment he got the lid. Originally, after separating, there was nothing on the two extreme weapons. However, once the lid of the heaven-devouring jar was closed, countless mysterious, veined patterns appeared on the surface of the sword. It was a cultivation technique that recorded the heaven-devouring demonic art. Therefore, the heaven-devouring demonic art would not be lost. Of course, this secret was only known to Lin Xian himself. Let's go back. Lin Xian waved his hand and left. After returning, he began to recover. At the same time, he asked the Hellfire Dragon to bring the people of the Dragon Clan to the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan to take over the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan. The patriarch of the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan and a group of elders were all killed by him. Since the apex weapons were gone, it would be very easy to take them down. As expected, the Hellfire Dragon brought the experts of the Dragon Clan. Not long after, they attacked the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan. They opened the treasury of the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan and transported all the treasures to the Divine Dragon City. The people in the Divine Dragon City cheered and became more and more powerful. When Murong Qingqing and the others heard the news, they rushed over from the Phoenix Clan and the Demon Emperor Mountain, respectively. Lin Xian lived a peaceful life with them for a while. During this period of time, he had completely recovered the energy that he had consumed in the battle. The next day, he entered the Sword World. He was ready to completely subdue the Heaven-Devouring Jar. There were some broken soul imprints on the lid of the Heaven-Devouring Jar. However, they were quickly destroyed by Lin Xian with the Great Dragon's Sword Soul. Then he imprinted his soul imprint on it. At this moment, the Heaven-Devouring Jar was complete. It floated beside Lin Xian and slowly rotated. There were mysterious patterns on it. It was like a smiling face, but also like a sad face. With a smile that wasn't a smile, he looked down at the crowd of living beings. Lin Xian could clearly sense that this was the scene outside the Heaven-Devouring Jar. The Heaven-Devouring demonic art was engraved inside the Heaven-Devouring Jar. Only he could sense it. Was the Heaven-Devouring demonic art able to devour the world? Lin Xian shook his head. It was different from his Tao. The news of the battle spread. The entire deity land was shocked. In the depths of the deity land, the people of the Purple Mansion also learned about it. The Purple Mansion was shocked. Was Yao Guang dead? What a pity. Emperor Zi Luo frowned. He was in charge of collecting and integrating resources. The death of Yao Guang made him sigh. Otherwise, with such an expert, his future would be limitless. Emperor, you have to get rid of Lin Wudi quickly. Otherwise, there will be endless trouble. Emperor Zi Luo sighed. Do you think I don't want to? But now, the heavenly land was more important. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he couldn't compare to the heavenly land. If the heavenly land was obtained by the God Realm, it would be troublesome. The people of the Purple Mansion were puzzled. Was the heavenly land really that important? Emperor Zi Luo said, Your Purple Mansion will continue to be in charge of collecting information. Keep an eye on Lin Wudi. I have important things to do. He quickly swept through the depths of the deity land. The families that were originally his subordinates quickly gathered. Those who didn't submit were mercilessly suppressed. Now that Hagen had made a move, there were only two outcomes: either submit or die. Chapter 58-78. Zi Luodong attacked and swept in all directions. She gathered a group of families and sects and then led them to the heavenly land. At the same time, Great Emperor Baiyu, Thunderclap Great Emperor, and the others also began to move. Apart from them, there were also some great emperors from the forbidden lands of life who acted alone. For example, Great Emperor Baigu and the others were also investigating the heavenly land. because only these places could allow them to improve again. The people from the divine realm, namely Lin Zhan, Lord Alcohol, and the others, were not idle either. They also gathered forces, such as the Heavenly Court and the few extreme weapons from the Extreme Path world. The 8 trigrams, the Aquarius of Life, the Destructive Spear, and so on quickly moved out. They came to the heavenly land to fight. In an instant, the wind and clouds gathered in the heavenly land. Although the people in the deity ground didn't know what was going on, they could still feel a biting cold aura. It came from the depths of the deity ground. In fact, more than one great emperor had appeared, and there was even the power of extreme weapons. This also shocked the people in Divine Dragon City. At this moment, the news had spread in the deity ground that there was more than one great emperor. This meant that it was the power of the Permitha. Could it be that the Permitha was gathering forces to attack Lin Wudi? It was possible. Lin Wudi was so arrogant before. He defeated the 6 families and slapped the Permitha in the face. Now that the Permitha had made a move, it seemed that Lin Wudi was in danger. Yes, more than one great emperor had come. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he couldn't resist. After the people in Divine Dragon City received the news, they were extremely anxious. They looked at Lin Xian and asked, "What about Dragon God?" Lin Xian frowned. He used his Rinnegan to observe the world. At the same time, he sent countless experts to the depths of the deity ground to investigate the situation. After investigating, he heaved a sigh of relief, because he found that the Permitha had made a move. There was more than one great emperor, and it seemed to have taken action to suppress some experts and sects in the depths of the deity ground. And it took these people away. What exactly was it doing? Lin Xian wasn't sure, but soon he received a message from Lin Zhan. After reading the message, Lin Xian instantly understood. So it turned out that they had gone to attack the celestial land. No wonder their momentum was so great. Lin Xian curled his lips into a smile. It seemed like Hagen could no longer care about him. After all, he was insignificant compared to the high heavens. In the meantime, this gave him the opportunity to sweep through the depths of the celestial land. In the depths of the deity ground, there were many clans and sections. Many of them had submitted to the otherworld heavenly king. Every year he would provide Hagen with a lot of resources and treasures. The number of these treasures was astonishing, so it was impossible for Lin Xian to refuse them. After all, he was also a part of the realm of the gods. Now that the 2 sides had officially declared war, Lin Xian naturally had to gather a batch of treasures and resources. This gave him a chance. In the depths of the deity ground, many experts of the clans and sects had been taken away. If that was the case, then the other party's clan would be extremely weak. If they made a move now, they would definitely be able to control the situation. After Lin Xian returned, he informed the people of Divine Dragon City and immediately mobilized the Divine Union's power. Everyone was gathered in one place. The people from the Divine Union and the Dragon Tribe took a deep breath when they heard this. Was a war about to break out? Their blood was boiling and they were not afraid. However, Lin Xian said no. Let's split into 3 groups. First, I'll sweep through the clans and sects in the depths of the deity ground. Second, Qincheng Susu. Use the power of the Divine Union to gather resources from the various realms and prepare them. I'm going to send them to the high heavens. Ruzalong, Diabolical Dragon, take the people of the Dragon Tribe and wait in Divine Dragon City. Once I've completely defeated the clans in the depths of the deity ground, I'll summon you to take over. Lin Xian assigned tasks. Everyone started to move. The current Divine Union could be said to be very terrifying. Its power had already surpassed the great Emperor clans. The Divine Union was just an alliance that contained too many ancient clans and peerless sections. There were also great Emperor clans like the Phoenix Tribe. Also, there were powerful sects like the Sacred Hall in the quintessential world. These people quickly headed to various parts of the universe to gather resources. On the other side, Lin Xian also moved and headed to the depths of the deity ground alone. In the depths of the deity ground, the sects and clans were much stronger than the outside world. Every clan had more than one nine-crown king. In the depths of the deity ground, there were 5 great sections. The Sky Sun sect, Sky Moon sect, and Sky Star sect all belonged to the Sky sect. However, at this moment they were extremely miserable. The sect leaders of the 5 great sects had been killed. The elites they had brought with them had all fallen. There weren't many powerhouses left. Although they had a strong foundation, they were much weaker than the other clans and sections. This time, Great Emperor Ziluo had taken some of their powerhouses with him. Only a few young disciples were left behind. There were also some old men who had reached the end of their lives. At this moment, an old man with white hair was gathering the young disciples. He wanted them to work hard and cultivate. This time, the Sky Sun sect has suffered heavy losses. Even the sect leader has fallen. Remember, your enemy is a man called Lin Wudi. You must work hard and take revenge for the sect leader in the future. Yes, the young disciples clenched their fists. At this moment, a sword light streaked across the sky. Then a voice was heard. Why, are you still thinking about revenge? As soon as the voice was heard, the people of the Sky Sun sect all turned their heads. When the old men saw the figure descending, their scalps went numb. They almost knelt on the ground in fear. The white-haired old man exclaimed. He stretched out his hand, trembling. You are. He was so scared that he couldn't speak. Who are you? A bright man among the young disciples walked out. Although he was young, he was handsome and had an extraordinary temperament. His name was Tiancheng. Was he one of the stronger ones? He asked in a deep voice. Who are you? Lin Xian smiled. He said, I am the Lin Wudi you are talking about. What? Lin Wudi? Tiancheng's pupils constricted. The others were also in an uproar. Just now, the elder said that their enemy was Lin Wudi. They didn't expect him to come again. Lin Wudi, go to hell. At this moment, a figure rushed out from among the old men. This person was withered, like a skeleton. A killing sword appeared in his hand and cut through the void. It erupted with an extremely terrifying power. However, in the face of such an attack, Lin Xian only slapped him. Like swatting a fly, he killed him in the void. How dare you attack me? It seems that the lesson I taught you previously wasn't enough. When the others saw this scene, they all sucked in a cold breath. The young disciples were terrified. Although the old man who attacked didn't have much lifespan left, he was still a quasi-emperor after all. Was he going to die like a fly, just like that? Was the other party already so powerful? The white-haired old man who took the lead was also trembling. He said in horror, Lin Wudi, what are you trying to do? Are you here for revenge? Chapter 58-79. Lin Xian looked at the people in front of him and said in a low voice, Now, I'll give you 2 choices, surrender or die. What? The strong men's faces changed when they heard that. Surrender? Are you kidding me? The white-haired elder said, We've already surrendered to Higgin. Are you trying to steal people from Higgin? Can you defeat Higgin? Lin Xian scoffed and curled his lips into a smile. I don't know if I can defeat Higgin, but I know that if you refuse, you'll go to hell now. Make your choice. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Wait, you. Those people were so angry that they vomited blood. 3 seconds was enough for them to think. Their brains hadn't reacted yet. Lin Xian said, Time's up. Tell me your choice. Humph. You want us to surrender to you? Dream on. Suddenly, someone sneered in disdain. Very well. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a sword energy cut the man in half. Who else is not convinced? Come out. I'm not convinced. More than a dozen figures stood up, but they were all killed by Lin Xian with 1 slap. Who else? Lin Xian's voice was still calm, but the surroundings were filled with a sea of blood. This time, the air was a little quiet. Everyone was frightened. This guy was killing them like cutting vegetables. It was even easier than pinching an ant to death. This was a complete one-sided beating. Damn it. Many people's teeth were about to be broken. Lin Xian said, "This is the last time. I don't have much patience." The white-haired elder took a deep breath and said, "Lin Gongzi, you should know that the Heavenly Sun sect belongs to Higan. Although Higan doesn't have time to deal with us now, it doesn't mean that it won't attack us in the future. Even if you make us surrender now, we'll be attacked by Higan in the future. Why don't you leave now? I can pretend that nothing happened." Lin Xian smiled. "Don't threaten me with Higan. One day, I'll flatten Higan. So, what's your choice? Flatten Higan?" The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. There were also some elders who sneered in disdain. "Ignorant young man, you have no idea what Higan represents." Lin Xian, on the other hand, brandished his sword Qi and killed all of the older generation experts. "You don't know what my name, Lin Wudi, represents. I am invincible." The others all knelt down. The other party was too powerful, decisive, and merciless. The white-haired elder could only lower his head. He said, "Stop, Lin Gongzi. We are willing to submit." "Elder," those young disciples shouted. They were unwilling to accept this. However, the white-haired elder said, "Now, I'm in charge of the Heavenly Sun clan. I have the final say. Submit to me." After saying that, he took the lead and knelt down. The others were all in despair. Did their Heavenly Sun sect have to kneel to the other party? Lin Xian stood there with a cold expression. He sneered in his heart as he watched the scene unfold. He naturally knew that these people were not willing to submit to him. But so what? He had no intention of sincerely letting these people join the divine union. The only reason he had recruited these people was to attack the Azure Land. The old elder said, "Don't tell me you won't listen to me." The other elders also took the lead and sighed. "Kneel." They all knelt down. They knew that it was useless to resist now. Their powerhouses had already gone to the Azure Land. When their powerhouses returned, it would be time for them to counterattack. Even the elder had taken the lead and knelt down. The others had no choice but to follow suit. "Very well." Lin Xian smiled. "From now on, I will be the leader of the Heavenly Sun sect." Lin Xian roared, and the Heavenly Sun sect shook. He formed a seal with his palms and sent a message to the Crimson Dragon, asking him to take over the Heavenly Sun sect. Lin Xian said, "Follow me to the Heavenly Moon sect." The white-haired elder and the others were shocked. However, they didn't dare say anything. Next, they headed to the Heavenly Music sect. The people of the Heavenly Moon sect were naturally unwilling to submit. In the end, Lin Xian made a move. With one palm strike, hundreds and thousands of experts died. The Heavenly Moon sect was terrified and helpless. They could only submit. Next were the Sky Star sect, the Heavenly Strategy sect, and the Sky Fire sect. In the end, the 5 great sects all submitted to Lin Xian. The Crimson Dragon led the dragon race over and began to take over the 5 great sections. He took their resources and spirit veins. The hearts of the people of the 5 great sects were bleeding, but they didn't dare resist. Lin Xian said, "How much do you know about the Azure Land?" The 5 elders of the 5 great sects walked over and said, "We don't know much either. However, we know that the one who took our powerhouses away was Emperor Ziluo. He is the true master of the Purple Mansion." The Purple Mansion? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes when he heard this. He wasn't unfamiliar with this name. When he was on the Hidden Emperor Star, he didn't have any dealings with him. They were mortal enemies. Now, the true master of the Purple Mansion had appeared. Emperor Ziluo was indeed from the other world. He snorted coldly. There's no need for the Purple Mansion to exist anymore. His next goal was to destroy the Violet Palace realm. Hearing this, The faces of the people of the 5 great sects changed drastically. No, Lin Gongzi. The white-haired elder said, the Purple Mansion is very powerful. Even if Emperor Ziluo doesn't make a move, there are countless experts in his sect. Many of them are people who have awakened from ancient slumber. They have mastered thousands of cultivation methods. It's very terrifying. Yes, it's unwise to attack him. We've given you the resources you want. Don't attack him anymore. Lin Xian sneered. What do you ants know? Is the Purple Mansion very powerful? In my opinion, it's just SOSO. Let's go. There's no need for the Purple Mansion to exist anymore. Lin Xian rose into the air and quickly left with the people of the 5 great sections. The Crimson Dragon and the others of the Dragon Clan stayed and continued to collect resources. In the depths of the deity ground, there was a storm. The people of the Purple Mansion were also responsible for collecting resources. At the same time, they were also investigating Lin Xian's situation. However, they encountered another kind of trouble. Otherwise, they should have known about Lin Xian's actions. Their trouble was that they encountered the Heavenly Court. The people of the Heavenly Court also came. Led by Black Mountain, countless experts of the Heavenly Court gathered. Among them, the North Demon was also there. As soon as they met the Purple Mansion, several battles broke out. The people of the Purple Mansion gritted their teeth. Hurry up and mobilize forces. This time, they were going to completely destroy the Heavenly Court. The outbreak of the battle was extremely terrifying. This time, the Purple Mansion gathered 3 big families to attack the Heavenly Court together. This made the Heavenly Court suppressed. Not only that, the Purple Mansion mobilized 7 more sects and was on the way. Together, they were the 10 great sections. This time, their strength was even more terrifying. It seemed that the Purple Mansion wanted to completely destroy the Nirvana Heavenly Court. The Heavenly Court was not to be trifled with. After recuperating for so many years, they had also gathered some strength. The Heavenly Soldiers and Heavenly Generals attacked fiercely. Black Mountain swept across the land, and the North Demon also turned into a peerless monster. It was extremely terrifying. The outbreak of the battle was unusually fierce. On this day, on a battlefield in a mountain range, a few people of the Purple Mansion were ambushed by the people of the Heavenly Court and were seriously injured. 3 people escaped. They were covered in blood, and their faces were filled with despair. At this moment, a rumbling sound came from the sky. Countless streams of light streaked across the sky. The 3 injured people looked up at the sky in horror. When they saw that the people who came were from the Heavenly Sun sect, they instantly smiled. Great, the 5 great sects are here. This time they were confident. Chapter 5880. Great, you are the Heavenly Sun sect, one of the 5 major sections. Come down and help us fight back. Those people from the Heavenly Court are too reckless. This time I will take revenge. I want them to live a life worse than death. The 3 people showed a hideous smile. In the sky, the strong were like clouds, pressing down and suspending in midair. Their expressions were cold, and many of them looked strange. The 3 injured people frowned. What? Don't you listen to orders? We are from the Purple Mansion. However, no one from the 5 major sects moved. Damn it, I'll beat you to death. One of them was about to attack. However, at this time, a handsome young man walked out and said in a deep voice, "It's useless, they won't listen to you. Because I am their master now, and they respect me as their leader." You're the most respected? Who are you? Are you from the Nirvana realm? The 3 injured people were incomparably terrified. In their opinion, only the strong people from the Nirvana realm could have such an arrogant tone. However, the young man shook his head. Nirvana realm? You're wrong. I'm not from the Nirvana realm. Then who are you? My name is Lin Woody. What? It's you. The 3 injured people's faces changed drastically. How could they not have heard of this name? This was their sworn enemy. But how could he lead the 5 major sects? Damn it, kill him for me. The 3 injured people roared and attacked fiercely. The Dharma rushed out like lightning. However, the people from the 5 major sects did not move. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and shot out a sword chi. The sword slashed down like a vast sea, swallowing the 3 people. After the sword, chi disappeared. The 3 people's bodies shattered, and only their souls trembled in the air. Too strong run. Lin Xian grabbed the 3 people's souls with his big hand. He did not kill them because he wanted to collect their souls. He opened his rinnegan and collected the 3 people's souls. The 3 people's souls trembled, and finally, Lin Xian used the fire of reincarnation to kill them. Lin Xian's eyes burst with a cold light. Did the Purple Mansion attack the Heavenly Court? Humph, you don't know the difference between life and death. Follow me. He took the lead and rushed out. The people from the 5 great sects quickly followed behind him. Actually, they still had hope in their hearts. Once they met up with the Z government's army, they would cooperate with the Z government to kill Lin Wudi. That was why they followed him. An astonishing battle had broken out in the mountains ahead. At this moment, the battle was nearing its end. Countless corpses, white bones, mountains of corpses, and seas of blood covered the ground. The sky was shattered, a large crack that made one's scalp go numb. At this moment, only a dozen figures were left standing. Among them, 10 of them were like gods and demons surrounding 2 people. These 2 people were a man and a woman. They were extremely young, and their bodies were covered in blood. The man said in a deep voice, "The 10 of you can be considered as masters who have been famous for a long time. Do you dare to challenge me one-on-one?" Ha! Hearing this, the 10 people laughed. "You're the North Demon of the Heavenly Court, right? I have to say you're really a genius. It's not easy for you to last until now. However, you've killed too many of us. We won't allow you to live. As for a one-on-one duel, stop dreaming. We won't give you a chance. Damn it." The North Demon gritted his teeth. There was a beautiful woman beside him. At this moment, she was also injured. She said, "North Demon, what should we do?" The North Demon said, "I'll find an opportunity to stop them later. You take the opportunity to escape." "No, I want to be with you." The beautiful woman shook her head. The North Demon said, "Don't be silly. In this situation, it's already very lucky that one of us can survive." Their feelings were really deep. After hearing this, the 10 masters around them laughed. "Do you think you can create an opportunity? I'll let the 2 of you be a pair of lovebirds. Attack!" With an angry roar, an extremely terrifying killing intent erupted from the 10 masters. Endless laws soared into the sky. The great Tao rumbled as if the gods were attacking. After one attack, the North Demon spat out blood and flew backward. His body enlarged, turning into a divine tree that stood tall between heaven and earth. On the tree, there were terrifying demon god flowers blooming and spinning. However, even so, it was still pierced through. Countless tree trunks fell, and the demon god flowers were also shattered and withered. The North Demon spat out a mouthful of blood. The beautiful woman was in despair. "What a strong vitality! Your bloodline is really extraordinary." After seeing this, the 10 masters were also surprised. However, it was over. The man in the lead was wearing golden armor and holding a battle sword in his hand. He was extraordinarily mighty. At his command, the others cooperated with him to attack. No, the North Demon was in despair. The beautiful woman also closed her eyes. They couldn't resist this attack at all. However, at this moment, an earth-shattering sound came from the distance. It was as if a sun had landed in this place. Terrifying divine fire swept across all directions, and an earth-shattering battle broke out. After one attack, the sun slowly disappeared. The beautiful woman opened her eyes and looked surprised. "I'm not dead. Someone is saving them. The North Demon was excited. The fire of the sun. Is it him? Is he here? Who is it? The 10 masters also frowned. Who dares to interfere with our business? They looked into the distance, only to see that there were as many experts as the clouds, flying over at high speed. Are they from the Heavenly Sun sect and the Heavenly Moon sect? You want to stop us? The 10 powerhouses furrowed their brows tightly. The elders of the Heavenly Sun sect were shocked. These are the 10 masters. They are very famous people among the 10 great sections. These 10 people were all wearing golden armor and were known as the Gold Masters. Their strength was very terrifying. The elder of the Heavenly Moon sect said, "Should we cooperate?" The elder of the Heavenly Sun sect shook his head. "Let's wait and see." He still felt that he was not very confident. Although he believed that the 10 masters were unparalleled when they joined forces, Linwoody was too strong. After all, Linwoody was too strong, so he was prepared to wait a little longer. The difference in strength between the two sides was too great. The 10 masters snorted and wanted to question the people of the Heavenly Sun sect. However, at this moment, Lin Xian walked out. He ignored the 10 masters and looked at the North Demon. He said, "Good brother, long time no see." "It's really you." The North Demon also smiled. He knew that they were safe this time. "Who are you?" The man with the golden battle sword asked with a frown. "You are from the Purple Mansion." Lin Xian turned his head and stared at these people. The North Demon said they were gathered by the Purple Mansion. The 10 gold masters are very strong. Be careful. Lin Xian said there are only 10 people. It's not enough. How bold. The 10 masters were angry. Not enough? Were they being looked down upon? They really didn't know what was good for them. They looked at the people of the Heavenly Sun sect. "This is your disciple. Why don't you kneel down?" The people of the Heavenly Sun sect smiled bitterly. Lin Xian said, "I am their master. Now they are my sect. You don't know what's good for you." One of them, who was wearing golden battle armor, walked out. He was holding a golden battle sword in his hand. "Boy, let me end you." He slashed out, and the golden light enveloped the world. The 5 great sects in the distance once again had hope. Could this move kill Linwoody? Chapter 5881. With a thunderous sound, the golden saber slashed at Lin Xian. Golden light burst out, and the saber light swept across the area. The beautiful woman's face changed when she saw this scene. "Oh no, such an attack will definitely cut him in half." "Humph, you can't even withstand a single blow." The strong man with the long saber sneered. "You're too weak." At this moment, Lin Xian's voice came from the golden light in front of him. The next moment, a big hand grabbed the long saber. He didn't die. The man with the saber narrowed his eyes. The beautiful woman was also stunned. Lin Xian threw a punch. His fist was like the sun, streaking across the void. Boom! The man with the golden saber spat out blood and flew backward. Half of his body was shattered. He was stunned. "Who is this?" Lin Xian snorted. "You're too weak." With another punch, he killed the man with the golden saber. The other 9 people gasped. The people of the 5 major sects were also shocked. "You're courting death." The 9 people roared, "Kneel down." "Who are you? Tell us your name." Lin Xian sneered. Unparalleled divine fire erupted from his body, and he rushed over like a sun god. Seeing this scene, the beautiful woman said, "North Demon, let's go and help him." However, the North Demon said, "No, Meng Dai, just watch. He doesn't need our help." "He doesn't need it?" Meng Dai was also stunned. At this moment, Lin Xian had already arrived among the 9 people. The 9 people also roared. Lin Xian's palm completely enveloped the 9 of them. What did he mean? Was he going to challenge the 9 masters by himself? Was he kidding? The 9 people roared, "Kill!" The golden armor on their bodies burst out with unparalleled brilliance. The weapons in each of their hands were different, but they were all murderous. The 9 people were extremely powerful and could definitely sweep away everything. However, Lin Xian was like a god of war, sweeping in all directions with his fists. The weapons kept shaking from the impact. In an instant, someone's arm was shattered, and he screamed and flew backward. Damn it, the sword Qi was like an ocean. The man with the golden saber roared. The sword Qi surged over like an ocean. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and the Taiji diagram flew out. Sword Qi transformed into yin and yang. The yin and yang sword Qi split the sea apart. The golden armor was split into 2 halves. Another great expert fell with his eyes wide open. "Who are you? Who are you?" The others roared crazily. They had all gone mad. Lin Xian snorted. "I am Lin Wudi." "What? You are Lin Wudi? Damn it, it's actually you." These people were incomparably terrified. They didn't expect it to be this guy. After all, this was a legendary killing god. "Damn it, catch him, don't let him go." The remaining people roared madly. As for Lin Xian, the more he fought, the braver he became. The golden flames on his body were completely unleashed, and the seed of divine fire was condensed. Every punch of the 9 suns' divine fist caused the universe to shatter. Boom, boom, not long after, the 3 of them were killed. At this moment, lightning intertwined in the sky, and golden lightning charged over. Lin Xian laughed and spat out sword Qi. His sword pierced through heaven and earth. After a few sword strikes, the entire world fell silent. Lin Xian stood in the sky. Endless cracks spread under his feet. The 10 great experts opposite him had already fallen. Were they dead? The people from the 5 great sects were shocked. Meng Dai also sucked in a breath of cold air, her beautiful eyes widening. Was he the legendary invincible Lin? He was so powerful. The people from the 5 great sects went crazy. Fortunately, they didn't cooperate with the 10 great experts to attack. Otherwise, they would have been sent to hell by now. After killing the 10 great experts, Lin Xian turned to look at the North Demon. He took the 10 great experts' storage rings. The power inside enveloped the North Demon and Meng Dai. The injuries on their bodies quickly recovered. The North Demon said that he had to hurry and help his master. This time the Purple Mansion sect had gathered the 10 great sections. These 10 great experts were just some of them. In addition, there were many experts who were besieging the heavenly court. After hearing this, Lin Xian nodded and said, "There's no time to lose. Let's go. Come here." He waved his hand, and the people from the 5 great sects came over obediently. This is... The North Demon was stunned. Meng Dai was also surprised. Lin Xian said, "The Heavenly Martial Sect. It's a sect on the other side, but I've already subdued it." The North Demon was shocked when he heard this. He frowned. "Did you really submit without controlling their souls?" Lin Xian said, "No need. Who dares to go against me?" They probably knew what would happen to them, right? Lin Xian turned his head and glanced at the 5 great sections. The people from the 5 great sects trembled in fear and quickly shook their heads. "No, we don't dare." Then Lin Xian and the North Demon set off and flew deeper into the heavenly court. Along the way, they kept meeting people from the 10 great sections. They were all killed by Lin Xian. They were so powerful that the news of what had happened here had spread far and wide. For a moment, the people in the depths of the deity ground were shocked. What kind of master had come from the heavenly court? He was too powerful. Some sects hadn't joined in yet. They began to gather information. This person was very powerful. He was decisive and ruthless. The heavenly court was also very ancient. It might be a mysterious master who had awakened from his sleep. I think so too. This time, I wonder who will win and who will lose. No matter how strong the Heavenly Court was, they couldn't defeat the Purple Mansion sect. After all, this was the territory of the Purple Mansion sect. The Purple Mansion sect could summon more sects at any time. Even the Otherworld, Heavenly King, might send more masters over. It would be difficult for the Heavenly Court to stop them. Yes, the Heavenly Court would be destroyed in the end. Countless people shook their heads. While these people were talking, Lin Xian had already swept all the sects and came to a valley. In front of the valley, there was a huge golden sword standing there. The valley was so big that one couldn't see the end of it. This was the place where the Golden Sword sect, one of the 10 great sects, was located. Lin Xian made a move to remove the firewood from under the cauldron. He was very fast. He wanted to destroy the foundation of the 10 great sects with extreme speed and power. Who was it? Stop! A cold voice came from the front of the Golden Sword sect. However, it was useless. Lin Xian led the 5 great sects and rushed in. Did he want to die? The guards wanted to roar. However, when they saw the overwhelming number of masters, they were stunned and turned to run. Boom! In the next moment, a big golden hand fell with the divine fire of the sun and destroyed them. Not only that, the mountain gate of the valley was also shattered. The people inside were shocked. Enemies were attacking. Were they from the Heavenly Court? They were courting death. Get out of here. These people rushed over in an instant. They attacked with the golden sword chi. It formed a storm that filled the sky. However, it was split by Lin Xian's sword. Lin Xian held the immortal slaying sword and said in a deep voice, 5 great sects, it's time to show your power. Charge! The people of the 5 great sects had no choice but to charge over with their people. However, Lin Xian didn't just stand there and watch. He was racing against time, so he also attacked. Like a sword god, he cut through everything. The people of the Golden Sword sect went crazy in an instant. Did a god descend on their sect? How could it be so terrifying? Stop! We are the Golden Sword sect, and we belong to the Heavenly Court. Who are you? Offending us is the same as offending the Heavenly Court. Stop immediately. Chapter 5882. Before the angry roars could fade away, the bodies of several people had already split open. With a boom, the mountain gate was split into 2 halves. Lin Xian walked in with his men. The people of the Golden Sword sect roared and attacked crazily. Countless experts charged towards Lin Xian. The laws in the sky swept through the world like a storm. You dare to behave atrociously in our sect? Go to hell. Ants, go to hell. The people of the Golden Sword sect looked ferocious. All the attacks in the sky landed on Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's body swayed slightly. Then he raised his palm and clenched it into a fist. He threw out a punch, and it was like an explosion of the sun. The people around him split apart under this power. Blood turned into a sea of blood. Screams rose one after another. Impossible. He was not injured. The people around him went crazy. There were at least tens of thousands of experts attacking together. How terrifying was that attack? However, they could not break through the other party's defense. Instead, the other party turned tens of thousands of experts into a bloody mist with one punch. What kind of power was this? Boom! Lin Xian attacked again. His fist pierced through the world. The void of the Golden Sword sect continued to shatter. All the cultivators in the void were torn apart. They were desperate. This was a heaven-defying power. It was far beyond them. Killing them was as easy as killing ants. Not long after, the Golden Sword sect was suppressed. Lin Xian looked at the huge golden sword and smashed it into pieces with one punch. Stop, we are willing to submit. The remaining warriors of the Golden Sword sect knelt on the ground. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with the power of reincarnation. He used Rinnegan. He controlled the souls of these people. Next, the Golden Saber sect and the Golden Hammer sect. 3 golden sects were taken down in a row. They were all controlled. These martial artists followed behind Lin Xian in a mighty formation, forming a terrifying storm. They continued to set off. Lin Xian would not let any of the 10 golden sects go. However, when he arrived at the Golden Fan sect, Lin Xian furrowed his brows because he realized that the person inside had already disappeared. The people from the 5 great sects were terrified. Were there no more? Lin Xian's lips curled up. I understand now. They must have gotten the news. Are they trying to escape? Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing pot and enveloped the entire Golden Fan door. All the energy inside was swallowed by him. The next few sects were also emptied of people. Lin Xian sneered. After devouring these sects, he continued on his journey. When they reached the last sect, Lin Xian discovered that the people who had escaped had gathered together. They wanted to gather all their strength and fight back. No matter who you are, you will definitely die. Those people roared crazily and quickly rushed out. Lin Xian took out the immortal slaying sword and slashed forward. It contained an indestructible power and a terrifying killing intent. Wherever it passed, the void would turn black. A vacuum appeared in the entire world. The experts that should have been there had long since disappeared. The surrounding people were all stunned. Their faces were filled with horror. With one sword, those people disappeared. Not even a drop of blood was left. It was too terrifying. Lin Xian's gaze was cold. He attacked again. 2 more strikes. The people in 2 places were completely turned into nothingness. Everyone's scalps went numb. What kind of strength was this? It had already surpassed a quasi-emperor. Could it be that a great emperor had come to wipe them out? Countless people screamed in despair. They begged the Permethar realm to help. They knelt in the void and kept shouting. In their eyes, the Permethar realm was a high and mighty immortal who could protect them. But this time it seemed to be useless. The people of the Permethar realm did not come out. Lin Xian walked over step by step. No, 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 don't attack. We are willing to submit. Those people roared crazily. This strength was too strong. They had gathered the strength of 7 sects and were ready to launch a peerless attack. However, it was destroyed by a sword. Their confidence and courage were completely shattered by this sword. Lin Xian used his Rinnegan to control these people. This process was not difficult because these people no longer had the heart to resist, so it was easier to control them. In the next moment, he snorted coldly, and the power of reincarnation erupted. The people of the other sects all stood up. There was boundless killing intent on their bodies. Lin Xian said, "Go, follow me." He soared into the sky. At this moment, the people of the 5 major sects were shocked. The 10 golden sects were all controlled. Including the 5 sects, there were people from 15 sections. This was a transcendent power. Perhaps only the power of the Permethar realm could resist it. No one else could, unless a great emperor appeared. Now, where was Lin Xian going with this power? The answer was obvious. In the ancient city, in a city deep in the deity ground. At this moment, there was a battle in the city. A woman was surrounded by the great Tao, as if she was the incarnation of the great Tao. It was extremely magical. Every dharma on her body was enviable. However, there were dozens of figures chasing after him. The leader was a woman in a colorful dress. She sneered. "It's useless. You can't escape. Obediently submit to the Permethar realm and you can live. Otherwise, we'll sever your soul and let others take your body. Your born Taoism aptitude will eventually belong to us." Humph. Zhong Lingxiu snorted coldly after hearing that. He attacked forcefully, sending a few people who were close to him flying. Those people's bodies were penetrated. However, the woman in the colorful dress behind him kept nodding. As expected of a born Taoism aptitude, he could fight against 5 people of the same level. He was definitely a genius. However, it's a pity that your opponent is us. The people of the Permitha realm have never failed, let alone you. Back then, even the great emperor had to submit to us. So, you should obediently submit to us. Zhong Lingxiu snorted coldly. There was an extremely terrifying light in her eyes that flickered. You killed all the people of the Dao One sect. How can I submit to you? She thought of what happened before. Zhong Lingxiu was trembling with anger. She had a born Taoism aptitude. After entering the deity ground and obtaining an opportunity, her strength improved by leaps and bounds. This made the people of the Dao One sect happy. It was very likely that she would become a great emperor. Even if she couldn't, she would still be a super expert below the great emperor. This made the people of the Dao One sect happy. However, it was a golden age now. The people of the Permitha realm had arrived. They wanted to control the world. Therefore, they started to crazily collect resources and geniuses. Naturally, they had their eyes on those with born Taoism aptitude. They wanted to subdue and suppress them. Zhong Lingxiu was naturally unwilling. The people of the Dao One sect resisted and were mercilessly killed in the end. Zhong Lingxiu escaped here under the protection of a few experts. However, the experts who protected her along the way were all killed by the Permitha realm. None of them survived. She was the only one left. Was she going to be suppressed now? The Permitha realm is too arrogant. Do you really think you're invincible? You're right. The Permitha realm is invincible. When facing us, you either submit or suffer a fate worse than death. Chapter 5883. The Otherworld Heavenly King is invincible. Are you sure? At that instant, a cold laugh could be heard. Who is it? Kai roared. Who dares to question the Otherworld Heavenly King? Come out. Boom. As soon as his voice fell, a murderous intent emerged, causing the void to tremble. Tsai's body was instantly torn into pieces. He didn't even have time to scream. Before he died, the others gasped when they saw this scene, as if they were facing a formidable enemy. Who is it? Who is it? Zhong Lingxiu's pupils shrank. She didn't expect that the situation of certain death would change. A glimmer of hope appeared in her eyes. In the next moment, a dark figure emerged in the void. As soon as this figure appeared, it swept across the heaven and earth, and a terrifying demonic aura surged to the 9 heavens. Is he from the demon clan? The pupils of the Otherworld Heavenly King shrank. They felt their hair stand on end. This aura was really too powerful. Are you the demon emperor? They were terrified. This was the aura of a great emperor, the great emperor of the demon clan. If he wasn't the demon emperor, who could he be? The demon emperor didn't care about these people at all. He looked at Zhong Lingxiu. He said, I can save you. Really? Thank you, senior. Zhong Lingxiu was excited. Although she was a top genius with an innate body, the people of the Otherworld Heavenly King were really too strong. They could sweep away all the people of the same level. It was not easy for her to fight until now. Become my subordinate and let me control you, and I will save you. The demon emperor's voice sounded again. Zhong Lingxiu was stunned when she heard it. The light in her eyes disappeared. To be controlled by the other party? She was unwilling. She didn't want to join the Otherworld Heavenly King before, because she didn't want to be controlled by the Otherworld Heavenly King. Now, the Demon Emperor's approach was very similar to the Otherworld Heavenly King. How could she be willing? Why? Are you unwilling? The Demon Emperor laughed. I am different from the Otherworld Heavenly King. I won't control your freedom. I just need you to do something for me. Nod your head. As long as you nod your head, I can kill these ants with a wave of my hand. The Demon Emperor's voice carried endless power. The people of the Otherworld Heavenly King were scared. They didn't even have the ability to escape now. I refuse. Zhong Lingxiu shook her head. frantically. She didn't want to be controlled by others. If that happened, her life would be bleak. What a pity. The demon emperor sneered. In that case, I can't save you. The people on the other side of the river went crazy. Are we not going to save them? A middle-aged man sucked in a breath of cold air. He had long heard from a great emperor that the demon emperor acted without any scruples. Furthermore, he was eccentric and reclusive. One would never be able to guess what he would do next. Thus, it was understandable that he didn't save them now. He was overjoyed. From the looks of it, if they didn't say anything and just stayed there quietly, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Perhaps he could still leave this place alive. If you don't save him, I will. At this moment, a piercingly cold voice came from the sky. Then a figure descended. This person was different from the Devil Emperor. The Devil Emperor was pitch black, like a devil. This figure was surrounded by a golden light. He was like the sun war god. Lin Xian, you're here too? Zhong Lingxiu was surprised. It had been a long time since she last saw him. However, she had heard all kinds of legends about him. Now that Lin Xian was here, she had hope again. She said, "Be careful. The people on the other side of the river are very scary. This great emperor is even more terrifying." Was Lin Xian Lin Wudi? The people on the other side of the river were shocked. They didn't expect to meet a legendary genius again. A legendary great emperor and a legendary genius. The two of them confronted each other just like that. The Devil Emperor smiled and said, "Little guy, you've grown quite fast. We meet again." They knew each other. The people on the other side of the river were shocked. They were terrified. Even Zhong Lingxiu was stunned. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He said, "The born Taoism aptitude is the seed of hope for the future. You don't even want to save this. What do you want to do? Do you want to go against the other side of the river?" Lin Xian was furious. The Devil Emperor laughed. "Do I need to explain to you what I do in my life? Not to mention you. Even this world doesn't understand me." At this moment, the Devil Emperor was arrogant to the extreme. The boundless power of the earth swept across all directions. Even so, his body was as black as ink. No one could see what he looked like. He was so strong. Zhong Lingxiu was suppressed and couldn't breathe. The other people on the other side of the river knelt on the ground in horror. Endless cracks appeared on their bodies. Lin Xian snorted and took out the sky-swallowing jar. It swallowed the power of the great emperor. He said, "Do you want to feel the power of the complete sky-swallowing jar?" Lin Xian was not afraid of the Devil Emperor. He was confident that he could fight him. The complete sky-swallowing jar? The Devil Emperor was surprised and looked forward. "I didn't expect you to be able to complete the sky-swallowing jar again. It's really unexpected." It was true. After all these years, the sky-swallowing jar was still there. Where did that girl sky-swallowing jar go? The Demon Emperor let out a sigh for no reason, causing everyone to be stunned. Even Lin Xian was stunned. That girl, sky-swallowing jar, really dares to say that. The sky-swallowing great emperor was a peerless, ruthless person. It was said that he had swallowed the world and made an enemy of all worlds. Now, the Devil Emperor called her a girl. Perhaps only the Devil Emperor, who had no scruples, dared to call her a girl. Forget it. For the sake of the sky-swallowing jar, I won't make a move this time. Little guy, don't provoke me again next time, because you will end up miserable if you become my enemy. The Devil Emperor sneered and disappeared. Is he gone? Zhong Lingxiu breathed a sigh of relief. So did the people on the other side of the river. Let's run. This time, they were really scared out of their wits. Lin Xian sneered. Did I let you escape? Lin Wudi, do you want to die? Don't think that just because you have the sky-swallowing jar, you can't threaten the people on the other side of the river. These people roared. Lin Xian sneered. You? You're not worthy of my attack. Men, suppress them for me. Lin Xian waved his hand. The ninth heaven broke open, and endless golden light appeared. billions of creatures stood above the ninth heaven. The dozen or so emperors on the other side of the river went crazy when they saw the scene. What is this? The Golden Sect. How dare you listen to Linwoody? Do you want to die? Yes, suppress them. The gold rankers in the sky roared angrily as they charged down from the sky. This scene was like a golden rain falling between heaven and earth. The dozen or so emperors were terrified. Although they were the 9 crowned kings, they couldn't stop so many masters. It didn't take long for them to be drowned out. In the end, they were ruthlessly suppressed. Lin Xian collected their souls and then frowned. It turns out that you're just a bunch of ants. You don't know anything useful. What use do I have for you? He smashed these people into pieces with a single slap. These people were extremely miserable. Zhong Lingxiu saved them and said, Lin Xian, let me deal with these people. Okay. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. Zhong Lingxiu was murderous. You killed the people of the Dao One sect. Today, I want you to pay with your lives. She attacked fiercely. All kinds of connate great Dao surged and shrouded the dozen or so emperors. Screams and screams rang out. After a long time, they slowly disappeared. The dozen or so people had long been killed to the point where their bodies and souls were completely destroyed. Zhong Lingxiu fell to the ground and cried bitterly. Her sect was gone. Chapter 5884. Seeing that Zhong Lingxiu was crying, Lin Xian asked her about it and sighed. It seemed like the Permitha, Heavenly King, was really despicable. Furthermore, he had already started to make his move. It was no longer like when the deity ground had just descended. When the deity ground had first descended, countless people had rejoiced, as entering the deity ground meant obtaining great opportunities. However, things were different now. When the Permitha, Heavenly King, made his move, one could only choose to submit or die. Anyone who resisted would be killed. There would probably be a storm that would engulf the myriad realms. The current Dao Yi sect was just the beginning. Lin Xian said, Join the Divine Union, and you'll no longer be suppressed by the Permitha, Heavenly King. Join the Divine Union? Zhong Lingxiu fell silent. To be honest, she had never thought about this before, as she had always been a disciple of the Dao Yi sect. Lin Xian said, Actually, you don't have to think too much. The Divine Union is not a sect. It is just an alliance. The Divine Union is made up of countless families and sections. You can represent the Dao Yi sect and join. In the future, you can also establish your own sect and re-establish the Dao Yi sect. Would that be the case? Zhong Lingxiu nodded and said, All right, I am willing to join the Divine Union. Welcome. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Although Zhong Lingxiu was alone, she had the born Taoism aptitude. Her current state was already incomparably terrifying. One had to know that the dozen Permitha Heavenly Kings who had made their move earlier were all 9 crown kings. Zhong Lingxiu had been able to resist until now, which was enough to show how heaven-defying her physique was. If it had been Qing Cheng or Ru Yu, they would probably have been the same, unless they used an extreme-grade weapon. Therefore, a connate constitution could be said to have a boundless future. Otherwise, the Permitha Heavenly King would not have made a move to snatch it. Don't worry. Your revenge will be taken. One day, people will trample the Permitha Heavenly King. Zhong Lingxiu nodded after hearing this. The 10 great golden sects were expressionless, as they had already been controlled. However, the 5 great golden sects gasped. Trample the Permitha Heavenly King? What kind of joke was this? The Permitha Heavenly King was currently dealing with the deity realm and had no mood to care about other things. Once the Permitha Heavenly King was free, it would be a simple matter to destroy the Divine Union. Of course, they only dared to think about this in their hearts and didn't dare to say it out loud. Lin Xian took out some elixirs and spirit herbs to heal Zhong Lingxiu. At the same time, he waved his hand and said, "Let's go and take care of Zifu." Lin Xian and his men quickly rose into the air and left the city. Fiend Mountain. Countless terrifying mountain ranges spread across the land, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. The terrain here was extremely dangerous. There was a demon spirit vein below. If a regular quasi-emperor came here, the energy of this spirit vein would kill them. However, at this moment, the atmosphere was even more tense. That was because this was the place where the Heavenly Court and the Violet Palace were going to fight. This time, the Heavenly Court was led by Black Mountain and brought a portion of their strength. There were also many who were sleeping in the golden coffins and had yet to come out. As for the Violet Mansion, it had sent many ancient experts, as well as some sects and clans from the depths of the celestial land. Jiejia's strength was extremely great. Therefore, the Heavenly Court was in danger. The Violet Mansion firmly surrounded the Heavenly Court's people and sneered, "This time, I'll catch all of you in one fell swoop. Let's see if you still dare to be arrogant in the future." The Heavenly Court's people had ugly expressions. Black Mountain's face was also gloomy. They knew that this was going to be a difficult battle, so they were already mentally prepared. Today, even if they were to die on the battlefield, they would not retreat. The battle broke out again. It was earth-shattering. At the same time, Lin Xian and the others in the distance flew quickly. Lin Xian used his Rinnegan. When he felt the terrifying aura in front of him, he suddenly sped up. Then he waved his hand and used the Cosmos Sword formation. The forest, trees, and mountains in front of him all turned into sword chi and slashed toward the Violet Mansion's people. Boom! Boom! The sword chi was extremely terrifying. With a terrifying light, it instantly pierced through the Violet Mansion's people. Many Violet Palace realm cultivators screamed as they fell to the ground. The Violet Mansion's people were terrified. "Who is it? How dare you attack us? Damn it!" A handsome man snorted and waved his hand. He directly slapped away the sword chi that filled the sky. He was wearing a purple armor and looked extraordinarily mighty. He looked young, but in fact he was an old monster who had lived for countless years. After slapping away the sword chi, he looked into the distance and frowned. "Are the reinforcements here? Get out here." In the next moment he tore open the void. The Violet Mansion's people also turned their heads to look. Then they saw a figure quickly passing by. It was a handsome man dressed in black. Behind him, a woman quickly followed. She was extremely beautiful and surrounded by the great Tao. She looked like a god. Two young people, but the aura on their bodies was extremely terrifying. The Violet Mansion's people sneered. "Just the two of you? How dare you come here and behave atrociously? Are you tired of living?" Lin Xian ignored these people. He looked at Black Mountain and smiled. "I'm not too late, right, Master?" At this moment, more people came from the distance. It was the North Demon and Meng Dai. When they arrived, they hurriedly shouted. Black Mountain was relieved to see that the North Demon was fine. Then he looked at Lin Xian and said, "Boy, it's not too late. Let's work together to destroy them." That was exactly what he wanted. Lin Xian nodded. "You guys don't know what's good for you." The man snorted. The Violet Mansion's people also sneered. The number of masters they brought was 10 times that of the Heavenly Court. How could these people compete with them? "Do you think I came here alone? Come out." Lin Xian waved his hand, and the golden light in the sky kept exploding. Then it turned into tens of thousands of masters standing in the sky. All of them were brimming with killing intent. The golden light connected into one, extremely dazzling. The Violet Mansion's people frowned. The 10 golden sections. The Heavenly Court's people were also stunned. Was this an enemy or a friend? Was this boy reliable? On the Violet Mansion side, people from the 10 golden sects immediately walked out. He smiled and said, "Great, you came in time. Take them down." As soon as he gave the order, the wind and clouds changed. However, none of the 10 sects in the sky took action. The atmosphere was a bit weird. The 10 sect masters were angry. Are you deaf? Can't you hear my order? Don't shout. They won't listen to you, because I'm their new master. Lin Xian said with a smile. What? Your new master? The pupils of the 10 sect masters suddenly shrank. Damn it, what did you do to my sect? Countless angry roars came. Lin Xian said, What did I do? Guess? He waved his hand, and the masters in golden armor in the sky all knelt on one knee. Master, see? Now you understand what I did. Damn it! How dare you control their souls? The sect master of the sword school was angry. The sect master of the saber school was murderous. Unforgivable. No one can control my sect. You will pay the price. The 10 golden sects were all angry. They came with masters, but they didn't expect that their sect would be controlled by someone. It was unforgivable. The 10 sect masters walked out. They were even more terrifying than the previous 10 masters. They were the real, peerless masters. Chapter 5885. Everyone was shocked. The 10 sect leaders were too powerful. Once they made a move, they swept through everything. At this time, the man in purple armor also flew over. He said, You're Lin Wudi. I'll give you a chance to submit to Higan. With your talent, you'll be valued even in Higan. You might even have the chance to become a great emperor. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You have to cherish it. I'm not interested in being Higan's lackey. Lin Xian snorted. Besides, even without Higan, I can still become a great emperor. The Purple Mansion people were furious. This kid was too arrogant. The man in purple armor shook his head. I've seen many geniuses. They're all arrogant and unruly. But in the end, they still died under Higan's sword. You won't be an exception. Elder Z, why waste your breath on him? Just take him down. The 10 sects leaders roared. Their killing intent surged, and they wanted to attack. But Elder Z waved his hand and said, Back off. Let me do it. I want to see what the legendary Lin Wudi is capable of. Lin Xian's name had spread far and wide. The people in the deity land had heard about it too. So Elder Z was curious. How powerful is he? How dare he challenge Higan? Elder, are you going to do it yourself? The 10 sects leaders were shocked. They took a deep breath and retreated. You're dead meat. Elder Z is going to do it himself. That's right. You'll be killed in 3 moves. At that time, we will break your bones and make you suffer for 100,000 years, never to be reincarnated. The people around laughed coldly. Heishan and the others from the heavenly court flew over. Heishan said, Kid, be careful. This guy isn't ordinary. He must be an ancient expert who revived in this era. Don't worry. I can handle it. Lin Xian nodded. He took a step forward, and a terrifying power swept out in all directions. It was as if he could topple mountains and overturn seas, shocking countless people. The Purple Mansion people were shocked. The 10 sects leaders' pupils shrank. This guy's body is terrifying. No wonder he can control their sections. 9 Yang divine body. Interesting. Elder Z nodded. He stepped into the air. I hope you won't disappoint me. In the next instant, he made his move. He pointed out with a finger, and immediately the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A terrifying aura quickly flew over. He arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant. Lin Xian was also surprised. What a fast speed! However, he wasn't afraid. He threw out a punch and blocked the finger. A rumbling sound rang out, and the finger was knocked back. Lin Xian coldly snorted. You're only SOO. He continued to swing his fist and flew out. His fist was like a sun that bloomed between heaven and earth. Boom! Boom! Elder Z did not retreat. Instead, He stood up quietly with Lin Xian. After 10 moves, the two of them were actually evenly matched. This surprised Lin Xian. This person's physique was so strong. No, it wasn't the physique. His brows furrowed tightly. It should be said that the other party's armor was very strong. As expected of the 9-yang divine body, even my purple underworld armor can't do anything to you? Elder Z coldly snorted. However, the show had just begun. He formed a seal with his palms, and the laws on the armor instantly erupted. The power became stronger again. However, Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. He didn't even defend. He quickly made his move. 9-yang divine fist. You even removed your defense? How confident are you? Or do you dare to look down on me? Elder Z coldly snorted and attacked aggressively. Purple lightning fist. The fist wrapped in the armor quickly attacked Lin Xian's physique. Every strike was like a clap of thunder. Lin Xian didn't care. He took the attack while attacking crazily. The battle between the two was like a purple lightning bolt clashing with a golden sun. Boom! Boom! In the blink of an eye, thousands of punches had passed. Elder Z's pupils shrank. Your physique hasn't been shattered. Impossible. You've already cultivated the 9-yang divine body to such a high level? However, Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Why? Are you surprised? I haven't used my full strength yet. Boom! After speaking, Lin Xian's physical strength erupted again. He sent his opponent flying with a punch. See? I'm serious now. Elder Z retreated and spat out a mouthful of blood. The laws on the place where he was injured had dimmed. Despicable brat, you've angered me. He didn't fight in close combat because he had already experienced Lin Xian's physique strength. However, other than close combat strength, I also have immortal techniques. I'll let you see my ultimate technique. Elder Z waved his sleeve. Countless purple lightning turned into lightning snakes, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. They covered the sky and swept over. The lightning on it had a paralyzing effect. Once hit, the body would be paralyzed. No matter how strong you were, you wouldn't be able to use your strength. If 9-Crown King was hit, then he was just waiting for death, at the mercy of others. Is he using his ultimate move? When the people from the Purple Mansion saw this, they all laughed. It seemed that Elder Z was serious. That brat is dead. That's for sure. When he's hit by the lightning, he won't be able to use his strength. When the time comes, we'll torture him to death. The people from the heavenly court sucked in a cold breath. Black Mountain frowned, because previously many of their experts had been hit and their bodies were paralyzed. Some of them hadn't recovered yet. He quickly reminded Lin Xian. Boom, boom. 3 million lightning snakes covered the sky and covered Lin Xian, completely piercing through that place. Ha hit. The people from the Purple Mansion laughed. The 5 sects on Lin Xian's side, the people from the Heavenly Sun sect, all became excited. It seemed that they were going to be free. This demon was finally going to die. You can't even take a single blow. I only used one, and you already can't block it? Elder Z had a cold smile on his face as he walked forward. But at this time his pupils constricted and he retreated. A sword energy shot out from the front, splitting the sky, and the 3 million lightning snakes were all sent flying. Everyone looked forward and sucked in a cold breath. So, a layer of sword energy had appeared on Lin Xian's body. It was extremely sharp and turned into a sword dragon, bearing its fangs and brandishing its claws. It sent all the lightning snakes flying. They were just lightning snakes. How could they compare to a true dragon? Lin Xian snorted coldly. You'll never be able to reach my level. Despicable brat, don't be so arrogant. Elder Z roared and formed a seal with his palm again. Purple lightning appeared in the center of his palm, and it quickly spread to the surroundings. Immortal technique, lightning palm. Not good. Quickly dodge. Some experts from the heavenly court cried out in alarm. Previously, they had fought with the other party. The Thunder Palm had once killed 3 Nine-Crown Kings with a single palm strike and had created a total of 5 Nine-Crown Kings. This was a huge killing move. Brat, I've run out of patience. This battle is over. Go to hell. Lightning Palm exploded and slapped over. The speed was extremely fast, and it enveloped Lin Xian in an instant. It slapped towards Lin Xian's heart. This attack was a killing move. Chapter 5886. My lightning is the strongest power in the world. You will be destroyed by it. Elder Z sneered. The strongest power? You are really ignorant. The strongest power is the sword. My sword. A cold voice came from the broken void in front of him. In the next moment, heaven and earth were broken, and the lightning was torn apart. A sword chi pierced through the clouds. Boom! Elder Z was hit by the sword chi. His body was penetrated, and he vomited blood and flew backward. You actually managed to break through my lightning palm with such ease. Elder Z was stunned. His thunder palm was an extremely terrifying immortal technique. It would never be broken so easily. Damn it, I won't lose. So what if your sword chi is strong? Thunder staff! Elder Z roared, and a staff appeared. Endless lightning surrounded the staff, as if it was the staff of the thunder god. Whoosh! Go to hell! Elder Z held the thunder staff and quickly attacked. Endless lightning gathered, and an extremely terrifying killing intent burst out. Its power was even more terrifying than the thunder palm. In the face of such an attack, Lin Xian took out the immortal killing sword and slashed at it. It's useless, boy. I won't lose to you in terms of weapons. Elder Z sneered, and the speed of the thunder god's staff increased. The two collided with each other, and a thunderous sound was heard. With a crack, the thunder god's staff split from the middle, and Elder Z was cut in half. How is this possible? The people of the Z Mansion exclaimed. The faces of the 10 sect masters also changed drastically. Even the thunder god's staff was cut in half. His sword is too terrifying. Boom! Lin Xian attacked again, and it turned into a sea of swords. It shrouded the broken body and turned it into a bloody mist. Elder Z was dead, and the people of the Z Mansion went crazy. The pupils of the 10 sect masters constricted. Damn it! How dare you kill Elder Z? Revenge! They roared angrily and quickly rushed over. Lin Xian sneered. I'm not afraid of you. He also waved his hand, and the golden sect behind him also quickly attacked. In addition to the people of the heavenly court, the two sides fought together. The power was extremely terrifying. The 10 sect leaders quickly charged towards Lin Xian. When the 10 of them attacked together, their power was terrifying to the extreme. You guys are overestimating yourselves. Lin Xian sneered as the divine flame and sword chi exploded from his body. Boundless power swept out in all directions. Boom! In the blink of an eye, 2 patriarchs were sent flying while vomiting mouthfuls of blood. The other few people also felt their scalps go numb. Quick, use your ultimate move. You can't let him continue being arrogant, someone said. The others nodded. The golden light on the bodies of the 10 sect leaders joined together to form a golden sea. A figure appeared from the sea. It was a golden pagoda. The aura above was terrifying. The light that hung down could easily pierce through the universe. Kill with a furious roar, the 10 people controlled the golden pagoda and charged over. Lin Xian brandished the immortal slaying sword and unleashed sword chi. When it struck the surface, it produced a sonorous sound. The heaven and earth in this place were torn apart. The terrifying power made the surrounding people retreat in fear. It's useless. You're no match for us at all. The 10 sect leaders sneered and joined forces to attack with the golden pagoda. Lin Xian shook his head. Killing you guys is as easy as flipping my hand. He waved the heaven and earth ring, which turned into a golden light and directly tore apart the opponent's defense. One of the sect leaders was beaten into a bloody mist and died. In the blink of an eye, one of the sect leaders was dead, leaving only 9 sect leaders. The 9 sect leaders were terrified. They burned their bloodline and attacked like crazy. They must kill him today. Kid, we'll help you. The people of Black Mountain are coming. Lin Xian said, no need. Leave these 10 to me. I'll let them know what despair is. Despair? I think you're the one who's in despair. What do you have to fight against our golden pagoda? The 10 sect leaders' bloodline was burned. The golden pagoda completely erupted, as if immortal qi had descended from the immortal realm. Lin Xian snorted coldly. It's just a forbidden weapon. I'll show you what a real weapon is. Lin Xian waved his hand and took out the sky-swallowing jar. A pitch-black vortex swept in all directions and swallowed all the golden light. What's this? The 9 sect leaders' pupils constricted. The power of the extreme Tao and the extreme Tao weapon. Damn it, you have an extreme Tao weapon. Run. They were crazy. They didn't expect the other party to have an extreme Tao weapon. How could they escape? The surrounding black vortexes covered the sky and the earth, and all of them rushed over, sealing off their escape route. The 9 sect leaders couldn't escape. They were terrified. You won with an unfair advantage. That's right. Don't use an extreme Tao weapon if you have the guts. Hearing this, Lin Xian burst into laughter. An unfair victory? When the 10 of you joined forces to attack me, did you ever think that you won with an unfair advantage? When you burned your bloodline and used the forbidden weapon, did you ever think that you won with an unfair advantage? Why, aren't you competing in strength and trump cards? I took out a more powerful trump card than you. Is that an unfair advantage? Lin Xian sneered. Damn it, let's fight it out with him. Run. Although the 9 sect leaders said so, they still chose to escape. They exerted their strength to the extreme, trying to tear open a black vortex. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the sky-swallowing jar flew out. The complete, sky-swallowing jar bloomed with mysterious light. The human face on it smiled faintly. With a boom, the sky-swallowing jar opened, and a black blade of light appeared, directly enveloping the 9 sect leaders. In the next moment, the 9 sect leaders' souls were destroyed. No matter how strong they were no match for an extreme Tao weapon. After killing the 9 sect leaders with one move, Lin Xian waved his hand and grabbed the golden pagoda. He erased the soul mark on it with the immortal killing sword. Then, he threw it to the golden sect leaders. He said to them, attack! Leave no one alive. The people of the Purple Mansion kept roaring. They were all crazy. Elder Z was dead, and so were the 10 sect leaders. They were all top-notch 9 crown kings. Who could resist them now that they had fallen like this? Damn it! Retreat, retreat quickly. The cosmos, sword formation. Lin Xian turned everything into a sword and sealed the world. Today he would not allow anyone here to leave. Ah, all kinds of screams sounded. The people of the Purple Mansion were desperate. Lin Wuti, you will be punished. Higgin will not forgive you. They frantically threatened Lin Xian, but it was useless. Instead, it made Lin Xian attack even faster. In the blink of an eye, most of them were dead. Only a few were left. It seemed that in a few moves, he would be able to kill all of them. However, at this moment, an angry shout sounded between heaven and earth. Then the sky fell and the earth cracked. The cosmos sword formation was mercilessly torn apart. The people of the golden sect leaders were also sent flying, and many of them turned into blood mist. Many of the people from the Heavenly Sun sect had also been reduced to ashes. The people of the Heavenly Court were also affected. At the critical moment, Lin Xian took out the sky-swallowing jar and saved the people of the Heavenly Court. It was terrifying. The North Demon and Meng Dai were shocked. Black Mountain's pupils constricted. The power of a great emperor! A great emperor is coming. The voice of a great emperor caused 15 sects to suffer heavy losses. If Lin Xian didn't have the sky-swallowing jar, all of this would have turned into ashes. He frowned. Is a great emperor coming? The people of the Purple Mansion who were still alive were ecstatic. They knelt on the ground. Great Emperor Zi Luo. It was Great Emperor Zi Luo. Chapter 5887. A great emperor was in existence that surpassed a great emperor. 9-crown king couldn't compare at all. Now that a great emperor had arrived, he would probably sweep everything away. The heavenly court's people were pale. They were in despair. Black Mountain's expression was grave. He said, "Kid, activate the sky-devouring jar together. Let's leave. You've killed so many of my people. Don't you think it's too easy for you to leave now?" A loud voice rang out between heaven and earth. Endless purple clouds filled the air. A middle-aged man walked out. His gaze was like a god's, enveloping the entire space. In an instant, the entire area was suppressed and sealed. How terrifying! We can't even withstand a look from a great emperor. The heavenly court's people were shocked. Emperor Zi Luo snorted and waved his sleeve. The Golden Gate and Sky Sun Gate that had submitted to Lin Xian were all destroyed. The remaining people of the 15 sects were all reduced to ashes. This was the consequence of betraying the otherworld heavenly court. A cold voice rang out. The Purple Mansion's people were so excited that they trembled. "Ha ha ha, Lin Wudi, do you see that? This is the power of the Purple Mansion. This is our Emperor Zi Luo. What do you have to fight against us? Kneel down and accept your death. Not just you, but the entire heavenly court will be destroyed today." They were too proud. "Lin Wudi, kneel down. You're no match for me. Kneel down and wait for me to deal with you. If you're willing to join the otherworld heavenly court and become our slave, you might be able to live." Emperor Zi Luo looked down at Lin Xian from high above. Lin Xian snorted. "So what if you're a great emperor? It won't be that easy for you to kill me." Lin Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent. "You, how dare you challenge our great emperor?" The Purple Mansion's people were furious. "Kneel down and slap him. He didn't have the right to do that. Reckless thing. Do you think that you can contend against me just because you killed a few 9-crown kings? Do you think you can challenge a true great emperor just because you have an extreme weapon? Today, I'll show you the true power of the earth." Emperor Zi Luo attacked. A palm slapped out, clouds and mists pervading the air. This was immortal energy power, swirling above, far exceeding everything else. The surrounding black vortexes were instantly torn apart. Not good. When the people of the heavenly court saw this scene, all of them fell into despair. There was no way they could withstand such an attack. On the other hand, Lin Xian snorted coldly. Sword World has been activated. The power within appeared as Lin Xian activated the heaven swallowing jar. Boom, the black vortex, devouring the heavens and the earth, suddenly exploded and blocked the purple palm. Even the immortal chi above it was blocked. How could this be? The people of the Zi Mansion were stunned. Even great Emperor Zi Luo's face darkened. "I didn't expect you to be able to use an extreme weapon to such an extent. Looks like you have quite a lot of resources on you. However, you are only the 9-crown king. Your resources are not unlimited. Let's see how long you can last." Zi Luodong laughed coldly and waved his hand again. It was like the hand of a celestial being that continued to descend. Every time it could shatter the heavens. Such an attack swept out in all directions. Everyone in the deity, ground, knelt down. Who was the great emperor's aura? He had angered a great emperor. The heaven-swallowing jar bobbed up and down, continuously devouring. Lin Xian's face was pale. Indeed, he was still barely holding on. However, Great Dragon also said that that person was not a complete Great Emperor. He was somewhat similar to the green-robed Great Emperor. Although his body was complete, half of his soul was missing. Lin Xian paused. Then the corners of his mouth rose. So that's how it is. Not a true Great Emperor. It seemed that he was weaker than a true Great Emperor. Lin Xian laughed when he heard this. What did I say? So you're just a fake Great Emperor. What did you say? Zi Luodong was furious. The people of the Z Mansion also roared. How dare you question our Great Emperor? Do you want to die? Lin Xian snorted. How can you be a complete Great Emperor without half of your soul? Missing a soul? The people of the Heavenly Court also exclaimed. They didn't know. The people of the Z Mansion were also stunned. Great Emperor Zi Luo's pupils constricted. Only the other great emperors of the Permitha realm knew the secret. Other than them, no one knew. How did this person in front of him know? He was very puzzled. It seems that I have to catch you and take your soul. You really have a lot of secrets. Great Emperor Zi Luo was completely furious. Endless light burst out of his eyes. It formed a purple eye and pressed down from the sky. Even if it's only half of my soul, you can't resist it. Great Emperor Zi Luo's voice was extremely cold. Lin Xian roared, "Release the Rinnegan." The 6 paths of reincarnation flashed between heaven and earth, but cracks still appeared under the pressure. It couldn't be helped. The soul of half a great emperor was extremely powerful. At this critical moment, Lin Xian roared and summoned the Samsara sword. The power of the 6 paths of reincarnation turned into a summoning. A strange phantom appeared between heaven and earth. A phantom of the Samsara sword appeared and slashed at the purple eye. Only then was it blocked. Boundless power shattered the 8 barren lands. Rinnegan, you even have this thing? You can even summon the Samsara sword? Unfortunately, it's just a phantom. If it were the real Samsara sword, it might be a threat to me. But it's just a phantom. You're too naive. You can't hurt me at all. Great Emperor Zi Luo was furious. He took a step forward. An immortal qi erupted from his body. Lin Xian blocked it with the sky-devouring jar. He laughed loudly. I can't kill you, but it's enough to kill your disciples and grand-disciples. The Rinnegan, another phantom of the Samsara sword, slashed down. Those who were still alive in the Purple Mansion were enveloped. No, they cried out miserably. Save me, Great Emperor. I don't want to die. Damn you, Lin Wudi. How dare you? Countless souls were crushed and torn to shreds. Great Emperor Zi Luo was stunned. His face darkened. Had he been slapped in the face? He originally thought that this move was meant to attack him. He didn't expect it to be aimed at his subordinates. And it succeeded. This was a vicious slap to his face. Kid, do you know what the consequences of angering a great emperor are? I'll let you experience a fate worse than death. Boom! Great Emperor Zi Luo's fist punched out, directly shattering the phantom of the Samsara sword. Countless fragments of light scattered between heaven and earth. Lin Xian took a few steps back, his face pale. He didn't use the Rinnegan again. Instead, he took out the immortal slaying sword. As soon as the immortal slaying sword appeared, Great Emperor Zi Luo's hair stood on end. The immortal qi on his body rolled violently, as if he was facing a great enemy. What was going on? Great Emperor Zi Luo frowned. A sword was enough to make him so frightened. Ha ha ha! Lin Xian laughed. This sword had killed immortals before. So, it's normal for your immortal qi to be frightened. Killed immortals before? Great Emperor Zi Luo's expression changed. Could it be that sword? It's actually in your hands? It seems that I really can't let you live. The immortal qi on his body became even more terrifying. It's just a sword. You can't unleash its true power. Is that so? Lin Xian said. The samsara sword is a phantom, but the great dragon's sword has a sword spirit. I'll let you experience the taste of the great dragon sword." With that, Lin Xian slashed out with the great dragon sword. A dragon's roar reverberated through the world. Chapter 5888. The power of the dragon sword soul was also displayed. It swept across heaven and earth. An endless dragon roar sounded. Emperor Z, Luo's face instantly darkened. Damn it, it's this sword again. This sword had once split open his soul. He couldn't stand it. With a roar, he quickly charged over. Lin Xian crazily waved the dragon's sword soul and fought with him. The sky-swallowing jar was used as a defense, while the dragon's sword soul attacked. Lin Xian was extremely powerful. He actually exchanged 30 moves with Emperor Z Luo. Then, Lin Xian retreated to the back. The corners of his mouth curled up. "See? I told you, it's impossible for you to kill me. Although I can't kill you now, I'll keep growing. Just you wait, Emperor Z Luo. When I become the 10-crown king, I'll personally send you to hell." As soon as Lin Xian's voice fell, the sky-swallowing jar swallowed the people of the heavenly court and quickly left with them. "Damn it, stay here. You think you can? It's impossible for you to become the 10-crown king." Emperor Z Luo roared and chased after him crazily. However, Lin Xian's sword world could provide a lot of power. It completely recovered its extreme weapon. The sky-swallowing jar turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Emperor Z Luo chased after him crazily. At this moment, the people of the deity ground trembled in fear. They thought the end of the world had come. However, Emperor Z Luo didn't catch up with Lin Xian. Lin Xian had already returned to the universe of the myriad heavens. Damn it! Emperor Z Luo wanted to continue searching. However, at this moment, he received a message from the Thunderclap Emperor. "We're going to attack the heavenly land." Emperor Z Luo could only leave helplessly. "Lin Wuti, just you wait. You're lucky this time. Next time we meet, I'll kill you directly." The cold voice spread throughout the deity ground and the universe. The people of the deity ground were terrified. Is it Lin Wuti again? The people of the universe were desperate. Was Lin Wuti targeted by a great emperor? In the vast universe, Lin Xian and the others came out. Hearing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly. "The next time I see you, I'll kill you." Lin Xian clenched his fists. Right now, although he could sweep through 9-crown king, if he encountered a great emperor, it was still not enough to look at. Last time, killing half of the frog took a lot of planning and planning. No, he had to quickly break through and become the 10-crown king. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with a biting cold radiance. It was extremely difficult to become the 10-crown king. It could be said that out of 100 million 9-crown kings, there might not even be one person who could become a 10-crown king. Even among the great emperors, there were very few who were 10-crown kings. For Lin Xian to become the 10-crown king was indeed as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, Lin Xian was confident that he could walk the path that others did not know of. At the very least, he now had a path. If he could let the 9-yang divine body reach large success, that was the 10-crown king. Since he did not know of any other methods, Lin Xian decided to try his best to break through to the 9-sun divine body. He asked Black Mountain, "What are you going to do next?" Black Mountain said, "We still have to head to the depths of the deity ground." Lin Xian nodded. "Will it be too dangerous? I'm afraid that Great Emperor Z Luo is lying in ambush there." Black Mountain said, "This time I've already informed the Empress. She will come out to receive us." "That's good." Lin Xian nodded. He said, "Previously, I asked the Divine Union to gather some resources in the universe. This time, I'll send them over together. I'll try to cultivate first. When the time comes, I'll go to the high heavens to find you. After that, Lin Xian returned to the Divine Union and gave the gathered resources to Black Mountain. Then Black Mountain took those resources and headed to the high heavens. Lin Xian stayed in the Divine Union. He entered the Sword World, preparing to find a way to break through to the Nine-Sun Divine Body. In the Sword World, the toad was still cultivating. It was unknown when it would come out. However, the aura on its body was already very terrifying. It made Lin Xian's hair stand on end. Lin Xian knew that this guy had already surpassed the Nine-Crown King. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian went to the other side and recovered his strength. De Long said, "The Nine-Sun Divine Body can be used with the Divine Fire Seed. There should be a Sun Valley in the Sword World." The power inside was very terrifying. It was a valley formed after a few suns shattered. Go there to cultivate. Sun Valley? Lin Xian took a deep breath. There was such a magical place in the Sword World, as expected of the ancient lands. Next, Lin Xian began to search for the Sun Valley. He finally found it. In a flaming valley, endless sunlight bloomed. Lin Xian's Nine-Sun Divine Body actually cracked. What a terrifying flame! It was really formed after the sun shattered. De Long said, "Yes, and there's more than one sun." The great battle back then shattered many worlds. Even the universe was about to shatter. Countless suns fell into this valley. After so many years, one could imagine the flames inside. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed that he had to cultivate outside the valley first. He sat down cross-legged and circulated the Nine-Sun Divine Body to absorb the surrounding sun fire. The Divine Fire Seed between his eyebrows was also beating non-stop. Lin Xian began to cultivate just like that. After a few days, Lin Xian moved forward. Although this kind of cultivation speed was very fast, Lin Xian felt that it was not enough. After all, the great battle was imminent. Lin Xian did not want to miss it. This time he had to help his father, Lord Alcohol, and the others fight against Bian. Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing jar and circled around him. He walked towards the Sun Valley. The flames in the Sun Valley were even more terrifying as they transformed into countless suns. They turned into countless suns and crashed over like meteors. The void of the Sword World shook. One could imagine how terrifying it was. Lin Xian hurriedly controlled the heaven-swallowing jar and walked carefully. Even so, he was still beaten until his blood was boiling. Finally, Lin Xian entered the valley. He found some fruits in the valley. The Divine Sun Fruit. Lin Xian took 3. He was overjoyed. What terrifying power! At that moment, a terrifying vibration came from the Sun Valley and sent him flying. After Lin Xian came out, he spat out a few mouthfuls of divine blood, and his face turned pale. What a terrifying Sun Valley! With my current strength, this is all I can do. Don't know. What's the use of eating the Divine Sun Fruit? Lin Xian took one and swallowed it. After swallowing it, he regretted it. The Divine Sun Fruit had absorbed the power of the sun for countless years. It was absolutely terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian felt that his internal organs were shattered and his meridians were broken. He roared at the sky. His body was splitting apart as he flew at high speed. Endless flames were leaping about. "Kid, go to the divine spring of life and protect your heart." De Long roared inside. After hearing that, Lin Xian rushed over and went to the ancient tree. He sat on the divine spring of life. An icy aura came from the heavenly spring of life. Lin Xian regained some of his consciousness. In the next moment, he began to activate the divine body of Nine Yang. He absorbed power. After a while, Lin Xian swallowed the second divine sun fruit. He began to cultivate again. While Luo Yunyang was cultivating here, a storm was brewing in the high heavens. On the other side, the 3 great emperors joined forces and led the powerhouses of the deity land to gather resources and began to attack the heavenly land. Not only that, the supremes who came out of the forbidden lands of the universe. Some ancient, sleeping great emperors appeared in the heavenly land one after another. The wind was blowing and the clouds were surging. Chapter 58-89. With so many supremes attacking at the same time, they would have destroyed the universe if they were in it. However, the heavenly land was extremely mysterious. It was one of the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Therefore, it was only the void that cracked. Moreover, a mysterious power came from the heavenly land to suppress the attacks of the supremes. The people from the other side attacked an ancient city. They were going to take down another city. Lin Jon, Lord Alcohol, and the others naturally wouldn't sit back and do nothing. They attacked aggressively and a great battle broke out. The other 9 heavens supremes and martial monarchs were involved too. Some wanted to take advantage of the chaos, while others wanted to find opportunities in the heavenly land. Only in the 9 heavens and 10 lands could one become an immortal. This was their opportunity. They couldn't miss it. Moreover, with the outbreak of this battle, more and more supremes would awaken from their slumber. They would come to seize the opportunity to become an immortal. Black Mountain and the people from the heavenly court came. The Empress personally came to protect them. The Empress said, "Your strength came at the right time. It's just enough to consolidate your strength. Then let's go and gather more power." Black Mountain and the others quickly left with the heavenly court's people. On this day, the deity ground was shocked. The people in the depths of the deity ground were even more shocked. They saw a pitch-black sword devouring the sky and slashing into the distance. On the other side, there were countless purple clouds that were about to cover the entire universe. In another place, a few extreme weapons shone brightly. Terrifying 8 trigrams shrouded the world. Lightning pierced through the 9 heavens and swept across the world like a heavenly tribulation. Endless white bones, terrifying underworld, and the gates of hell seemed to have opened. There was also the power of indestructibility, soul control, and various other methods. Everyone saw immortal chi dancing in the distance, and divine fire jumping between heaven and earth. This was a true battle between supremes. It was a battle that surpassed all powers. Gradually, the news of the opportunity to become an immortal and the heavenly land spread. This shocked the people of the deity ground and the other worlds. It turned out that there were immortals above supremes. Was there really a chance to become an immortal? Countless people's eyes turned red, but soon they sighed. Even if 9-crowned king went to that kind of place, he would most likely die 9 times out of 10, let alone others. Only the great emperors would be able to protect themselves there. The martial monarch clans were astounded too. However, most of them let out a sigh. Even if they had extreme weapons, it would be very difficult for them to leave safely. From the looks of it, someone had to break through and become a great emperor. Many martial monarch clans placed their hopes on their juniors. For example, Leif Daudenier had a god body, which meant that once he became a sage body, he would be able to fight a grand emperor. The other great emperor clans felt awkward. This was because they seemed to have very little hope. Princes and princesses were no longer worthy of his attention. After all, countless great emperors had been revived from the ancient times. The divine union continued to gather strength. Murong Qingcheng, Yen Ruyu, and the others all had their own opportunities. Their strength was also steadily increasing. I wonder how older brother Xian is doing? Inside the sword world, Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes. He stood up and roared towards the sky. The power of the 9-yang divine body has become stronger again. However, he was still a step away from mastering it. Fight. I need to fight. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercingly cold radiance. Lin Xian felt that he only needed one life and death battle to break through and become a true sage body. This time, even if there were more than a dozen 9-crowned kings in the upper heavens, they probably wouldn't be able to give him any pressure. Only existences that surpassed the 9-crowned kings could. Emperor Zi Luo. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercing radiance. The other party was a great emperor who lacked half a soul. If he were to be his opponent, he would be the most suitable. Lin Xian prepared to look for him. Lin Xian left the sword world and returned to the divine union. Big brother Xian, you are here. Murong Qingqing and the others were delighted. Lin Xian took a deep breath when he heard about what had happened. Had the battle already started in the upper heavens? Furthermore, it wasn't just the Permethaw factions. Some rogue cultivators had also joined the battle. Of course, they were all above the 9 crown kings. There were supremes and great emperors from other eras. It really was the immortal ascension era. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Even the 9 crown kings wouldn't be enough. He looked at Murong Qingqing and the others. He said, I will take you to a place to search for your opportunities. Murong Qingqing and the others were delighted. They knew that it should be the sword world. Lin Xian's possession of the sword world wasn't a secret to them. Furthermore, Lin Xian's strength had increased so quickly this time that they were even more curious about the sword world. Of course, the sword world couldn't be open to everyone. Thus, Lin Xian had no choice but to allow the people beside him to enter. The others probably wouldn't be able to withstand that power. This time he chose Murong Qingqing, Yan Ruyu, the Crimson Dragon, the Hellfire Dragon, Xueqi, and the others. Xueqi said, Husband, I have to make a trip to the 9 underworlds. In the previous supreme being Bone, other than possessing great power, there was also a great deal of power. There is also another piece of news. I have to retrieve the item left behind by the previous 9 in divine body. 9 underworlds. Then be careful. Lin Xian's expression was also serious. He gave the lid of the heaven swallowing jar to the other party. He said, with half an extreme weapon, it should be enough to protect yourself. Okay. Xueqi nodded. I will come back as soon as possible. When the time comes, we will work together. Xueqi left. Lin Xian brought Qingqing and the others to the sword world. Then he said, This place is extremely mysterious and has endless opportunities. Find the opportunities that belong to you. These people moved quickly. Lin Xian left. He headed to the heavens. Boom! The celestial lands were incomparably dangerous. Those who transported the resources were mainly led by 9 crown king. Moreover, they only dared to walk outside the heavens. The people inside would come out to receive them. It seemed that 9 crown king could get close to this place. 9 crown king didn't even need to think about it. If 9 crown king didn't care about his life, he could also enter the heavens. However, the chance of him coming out alive was less than 1 in 10,000. Therefore, under normal circumstances, they wouldn't enter. However, on this day, a beam of light pierced through and entered the heavens. Just now, that was 9 crown king. He actually entered the heavens. Who did he think he was? Did he have a death wish? Humph, stupid thing. If he went in, he would definitely die. The families in the depths of the deity ground sneered. They had seen some 9 crown kings before. They relied on their strength or rich experience to not listen to advice. However, they died not long after. This time, they didn't think it would be an exception. After Lin Xian entered, he felt a shocking aura. However, he stayed in the sword world all year round. Therefore, he was able to adapt to the power of the heavens quickly. After landing, he looked at his surroundings. There was a mysterious aura here. It was as if this wasn't a land but a sky. Suddenly, a stream of light came from the distance. Catch it. There is heaven's water in the clouds for our supremes. Chapter 5890. A group of figures quickly chased after a cloud. Lin Xian looked ahead. 9 crown king? That's not right. Didn't they say that the 9 crown king would not come easily? When Xiao Qin entered earlier, this group of people mocked and ridiculed him, not optimistic about his chances. Lin Xian felt suspicious and prepared to go over and ask, "Who are you? Stop. Scram. We saw this cloud." When these people saw Lin Xian charge over, they thought that he wanted to snatch something and immediately roared. Lin Xian stopped and asked, "How did you 9 crown kings get in?" "Brat, we are both 9 crown kings, but there are differences. What clan are you from?" "We are from the Desolate Tomb. We have the supreme token, so we can enter." "It looks like you were not brought in by a martial emperor. You barged in on your own, right? A person like you will not live past the next day." Lin Xian understood after a few simple sentences. It turned out that a martial emperor had brought them in. Carrying some of the martial emperor's aura could save one's life. It looked like he could use this method in the future to let the Divine Union, Heavenly Court, and others in. However, that would have to wait until he had the advantage. It was still too dangerous now. A small, loose cultivator dared to come in and kill. Someone laughed coldly, murderous intent flashing in their eyes. They had more than 29 crown kings on their side. They were not afraid of the other party at all. Lin Xian frowned. "You are from the Desolate Tomb?" "That's right. Are you afraid? Kneel down and become our slaves. Or help us scout for danger. That way, you might be able to live a little longer. You really don't know death. Unexpectedly, I met you again." Lin Xian smiled. How could he not know about the Desolate Tomb? Back then, Mount Eternal and the Desolate Tomb worked together to hunt him down. These two were life-restricted lands with supreme beings inside. Lin Xian still did not understand primes. What were they? However, it looked like they surpassed 9 crown kings. How were they compared to martial emperors? Lin Xian asked Dalong said, "Primes are like green robes and Ziluo. They are not complete martial emperors." Not a complete great emperor. Lin Xian was surprised, but it shouldn't be called supreme either, because Green Robe and Ziluo both called themselves great emperors. It was different. Dalong said, "Green Robe and Ziluo are both injured great emperors. Their strength is not at their peak. But they had immortal qi." However, Jizun was different. Jizun was not injured. Both his soul and body were complete. However, he no longer had the immortal energy and divine flame, because they had scattered the immortal energy and divine flame themselves. Scattered? What did that mean? Lin Xian frowned. In the past, the only way to maintain the cultivation of a grand emperor, or even become an immortal, was to join the Permethar realm. However, if he joined the otherworld Heavenly King, it meant that he had to lower his head and be controlled. Many great emperors were unwilling to do so, so they all went into hibernation. Some slept for tens of thousands of years, while others slept for hundreds of thousands of years, or even millions of years. These people were all in their own seals. However, some of them were unwilling to enter a deep slumber, because when he woke up from his deep slumber, the opportunity to become an immortal might have passed. Therefore, these people were not willing to take the risk. Instead, they adopted an awakened state. However, in an awakened state, they could not maintain their peak strength. They removed the divine flame and immortal qi. These people hid in a place with a super spirit vein, which became a forbidden land for life. They did not allow others to enter and investigate. They would not appear. They would send some people to investigate the opportunity to become an immortal. Once the opportunity to become an immortal came, they would appear. These people were called Jizun. So that was the case. The former great emperor had removed the divine flame and immortal qi. Lin Xian nodded. Understood. His strength should not be as good as a complete great emperor. It was probably about the same as the half-frog that he had killed. Kid, what are you in a daze for? Haven't you thought about it yet? Hurry up and kneel down. We'll give you a chance to live. The 9 crown kings in front sneered. In their opinion, Lin Xian should be thinking. Lin Xian came back to his senses and shook his head slightly. Where is your Huangling's Jizun? Take me to see him? After knowing the Ji Zun situation and some of his combat strength, Lin Xian felt that he could fight. After all, he had come this time to look for a life and death battle. Only by fighting to the limit could he break through and achieve great success in his body. At that time, he would become the 10-crown king. His combat strength would also increase exponentially. At that time, he would dare to compete with a true great emperor. Kid, at least you know what's good for you. Stand there and wait for us to grab this cloud. When the time comes, we'll go see our spirit Ji Zun together. Those people thought that Lin Xian was afraid and wanted to submit. They quickly grabbed the cloud. The supreme token on their bodies released an aura, forming an endless law cage that enveloped the cloud. Then they waved their hands and said, "Follow us." Lin Xian followed behind silently. After flying for 3 days, they finally landed in the middle of a mountain range. There were no trees in this mountain range, only clouds. And the clouds were very light, different from the cloud they had suppressed before. Lin Xian discovered that there was no water in the clouds. It seemed that the heavenly land was very magical. He needed to spend time to understand. There were also many experts in the mountain range. When they saw those people return, they said, "Did you succeed?" He grabbed one, and there was heavenly water inside. "Great, let's go quickly." Who was this person? When they saw Lin Xian, they were stunned. Someone said, "A rogue cultivator wants to come over and submit to our Ji Zun. Take him over." There was a man in white in front of them. He was incomparably ethereal. The power on his body was very strong. Before he even got close, those 9 crown kings couldn't breathe. Fortunately, they had the supreme token on them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to advance. "You wait here." The expert in front said a few words to Lin Xian and then went up to report. First, he handed over the heavenly water and then pointed at Lin Xian. When the spirit sovereign looked at Lin Xian, he frowned. "It's you." "That's right, it's me." "It seems that you know me." "That's easy. Come and fight me." "How bold!" Several 9 crown kings roared. "How dare you be so arrogant in front of a supreme?" "Kneel down and slap him." "Kid, do you want to die?" Lin Xian strode forward. Several 9 crown kings were angry and attacked. In the end, they were all slapped to the ground by Lin Xian. 9 crown kings' body was torn into pieces. The others' expressions changed drastically, and they all rushed over. However, the spirit sovereign in front waved his hand and stopped them. "Lin Wudi, I didn't expect you to dare come here. Did you come to walk into a trap?" "What?" "Lin Wudi, he was Lin Wudi. That arrogant Lin Wudi," the surrounding people exclaimed. They didn't expect that it was the other party who brought Lin Wudi here. Those people were also shocked. At the same time, they were excited. Legend had it that Lin Wudi had countless treasures on him. This time, they had made a great contribution. "Are you worthy of submitting to you?" "Can you defeat me?" Lin Xian's disdainful voice sounded. The surrounding people were furious. The spirit sovereign's face also darkened. "Ignorant. It seems that you don't know my strength at all." Chapter 5891. The Supreme Being was furious. Who was he? He used to be a great emperor, and now he was a supreme being. He was far more powerful than the 9 crown king. Now, a little ant was being so rude to him. He couldn't tolerate it. In the next instant, he attacked. The desolation on his body swept out. Everywhere it passed, everything withered rapidly. The trees in the forest were all turned into nothingness. This was an extremely terrifying power. The 9 crown king would be turned into a pile of bones in an instant under this power. Lin Xian took in a deep breath when he sensed the power. He had to admit that the Supreme Being was indeed powerful. He far surpassed the 9 crown king. He waved his fist and charged forward. The terrifying flames collided with the desolation power and were extinguished. "Kid, it's useless. No matter how strong you are, You're just the 9-crown king. Your strength can't compare to mine." Seeing this, the Supreme Being laughed coldly. "Next, I'll make you kneel in front of me." After saying that, he waved his hand and the desolation palm slapped over. The desolation aura on it became even more terrifying. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The divine flame on his body flickered, and the divine flame seed on his forehead erupted with power. The power of the 9-yang divine body was unleashed. His 9-yang divine body was much stronger than before. Although it hadn't reached greater mastery, it was very close. In this battle, he was going to break through his limits. Therefore, he didn't back down in the slightest when facing the Supreme Being. Instead, he took the initiative to attack. Boom, boom, boom. His fist landed on the aura of desolation, and a deafening sound rang out. The flames were extinguished. However, new flames surged over. For a moment, there was a stalemate in the air. What a terrifying power! This guy's physique was too terrifying. Seeing this, the Supreme Being's expression changed. 9 suns, splitting heavens. At this moment, Lin Xian's fist exploded again. It was as if he had turned into a sun war god. Terrifying fist shadows filled the vast sky. Boom, boom, boom. The fist hit the desolation palm and even shook. Countless desolation auras were turned into ashes. When the surrounding people saw this, their scalps went numb. How was this possible? The experts of the desolate forest had all gone mad. He was actually able to contend against a Supreme Being. Wasn't this too inconceivable? Could it be that this brat's strength had already surpassed the 9-crown kings? Damn it. Ji Zun struck out his palm again. The battle between the two shook the heavens and the earth. The surrounding 9-crown kings all retreated into the distance. Wherever the two of them passed, endless cracks would appear. It was as if 2 gods of war were fighting. Countless divine flames danced between heaven and earth, turning into the illusion of the sun. It covered the entire sky. It was as if the entire world had turned into a world of flames that wanted to melt everything. You want to suppress me with just you? He was overestimating himself. Ji Zun snorted coldly. A desolate aura spread out from his body. The aura was strong enough to cause any world to wither. The law of desolation caused the flames in the sky to continue, and the illusions of the sun disappeared one after another. Meanwhile, that desolate aura quickly rushed towards Lin Xian. The illusions of the sun continued to revolve around Lin Xian's body, carrying with them the power to destroy everything, blocking the attack. Lin Xian was shocked. So strong. He snorted coldly and finally used his sword energy. The terrifying sword energy erupted and shot into the sky. It slashed on the law of desolation, and a shocking sound erupted. Was it blocked again? The surrounding 9-crown kings all went mad. They, the Supreme Beings, still couldn't kill the other party. It was too unbelievable. In addition to his physique, did he also use a powerful sword technique? Ji Zun snorted coldly. Let me show you the sword of desolation. These are all swords of death, enough to take your life. Ji Zun sneered and formed a seal with his palm. Lie in, flicking continuously. 10 swords of desolation flew out. Below the great emperor, all are dust. Shatter everything. The 10 swords of desolation carried such a powerful force that it was enough to turn any expert into dust. The surrounding 9 crown kings all prostrated themselves on the ground. Ji Zun was invincible. They shouted respectfully. Lin Xian also frowned tightly. He had to admit that Ji Zun was indeed too strong, exceeding his expectations. He originally thought that these people's strength would be greatly reduced without the divine fire and immortal qi. But now it seemed that, even so, they were far stronger than everything. This guy was definitely not weaker than the half-frog from before. In fact, he was even stronger. Lin Xian felt a huge pressure. He snorted coldly, took out the immortal slaying sword and slashed out. Clanging sounds rang out. The immortal slaying sword collided with the sword of desolation. The collision of the sword of desolation exploded with endless light, as dazzling as fireworks. However, they knew that this was extremely dangerous. After blocking 3 Sword of Desolation, the other 7 Sword of Desolation attacked Lin Xian from other directions. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Qian Kuin, sword technique, all things are swords. He actually turned into a sun god sword and slashed through the air. You want to use your body as a sword to fight against my desolation law? You really don't know what death is. The people of the desolate spirit in the distance saw this scene and laughed. Haha, this kid is dead for sure. That's for sure. His body will be turned into bones in an instant. What divine body? In front of us, Jizun, it's all trash. Lin Xian used the Qin Kuin sword technique. Using his body as a sword, he exploded with the most brilliant light. It collided with the desolation, sword of desolation. A terrifying explosion rang out. Heaven and earth shattered, and countless cracks spread out. Lin Xian retreated. However, the 7 desolation, sword of desolation, shattered into pieces. Was it shattered? The yellow spirit expert's expression changed drastically when he saw the scene. Wasn't this kid's physique too strong? Even Ji Zun furrowed his brows tightly. He was actually able to block it. It must be said that he had some strength. It seems that your physique is very close to great success. However, I won't let you take that step. Today, I will make the 9-yang divine body disappear. Desolation, Nirvana moon. The Ji Zun formed a seal with his palm. The Nirvana desolation law condensed, forming a crescent moon. It appeared in the sky. The entire world darkened in an instant. This was the Ji Zun's method. One move was enough to reverse the universe and change heaven and earth. Kid, this move of mine can only be blocked by the Ji Zun and other great emperors. You can't block it at all. To be able to die under this move, you should be proud. The moon in the sky slowly lowered, as if it had turned into the eyes of the god of death. Wherever she looked, all life was being destroyed. The Nirvana moon had destroyed thousands of worlds. This time, all the power was used to fight against Lin Xian. The power could be imagined. Lin Xian took a deep breath and raised his fists high. Erupt, 9-yang divine body. His physique suddenly changed, as if it had turned into a sun god. The divine fire swept through the 9 heavens, and the temperature between heaven and earth instantly swept. The desolate spirit experts who were watching the battle from afar trembled. Their faces were covered in sweat. It was too terrifying. It was as if their bodies were about to melt. Damn it! Retreat, retreat quickly. They retreated frantically. Chapter 5892. The divine fire on Lin Xian's body kept jumping, emitting a terrifying light that pierced through heaven and earth. He formed a seal with his palms and shouted coldly, "Endless light." Once the 9-yang divine body reached the phenomenal level, he would be able to have more supernatural powers. At this moment, Lin Xian was very close to reaching the phenomenal level. Therefore, there were several supernatural powers that he could barely use. Of course, part of the reason was that he had been to the Sun God Valley and eaten the Sun God fruit. The endless light illuminated heaven and earth. The original darkness disappeared and was replaced by day. Lin Xian seemed to have turned into a sun, spinning nonstop. He said in a deep voice, "How can the light of the bright moon compete with the sun?" The quiet moon in the sky was suppressed and dimmed. How could it be like this? The people in the surrounding barren hills were all crazy. Could Lin Wudi really compete with their Ji Zun? It was too incredible. It was like a dream. Ji Zun's face also darkened. What a 9-yang divine body. It seems that you are really close to reaching the phenomenal level. You're even capable of unleashing boundless light. You're much stronger than I imagined. No wonder so many people wanted to kill you. but they failed. However, you are too conceited. You want to have a life and death battle to break through the limit and reach the phenomenal level. But you shouldn't have come to me. My identity is not something you can imagine. My trump card is also not something you can understand. So this time you will lose without a doubt, because I am completely superior to you. I once stood at the peak Lin Xian. Wudi, submit to me. Since it was not easy for you to cultivate to this point, I can even help you reach the phenomenal level as long as you submit to me and become my battle servant. Humph! Lin Xian sneered. Once stood at the peak, that was just in the past. Right now, you're just an ant under the great emperor realm. You have no divine fire or immortal qi. What are you proud of? Ji Zun was murderous. His face was cold. It seems that I have really underestimated you. You should know Ji Zun's identity and background. Since you know, then you should know that I was once a great emperor. I'm not someone you can provoke. Even if I don't have the divine flame or immortal qi now, I'm still not someone you can resist. The Supreme Being took a step forward, and the 9 heavens and 10 earths shattered. A terrifying aura of desolation swept out in all directions. The entire high heavens was in turmoil. He waved his hand, and the silent moon in the sky fell into his hand. Like a crescent moon blade, it slashed out. Whoosh, heaven and earth were split apart. This power was too intimidating. It was even more intimidating than before. It seemed like it could tear the god body into halves. However, Lin Xian still did not dodge. He stood there, his eyes incomparably bright. This brat still wants to fight head-on? He's too stupid. I think he really doesn't know how to write the word death. This time, he definitely wouldn't be able to withstand it. The 9 crowned kings in the distance laughed coldly. When the moonlight slashed down and was about to reach him, Lin Xian finally moved. The endless light turned into a mirror of yang. He opened and closed his palms. Endless light gathered at the center of his palms, as if condensing into a mirror. That mirror was incomparably mysterious. It could shine with boundless radiance. Boom! With a boom, a ball of light erupted from the mirror, colliding with the moonlight. The sun and the moon competed. Then, with a crack appeared on the moon. Not good. The Supreme Being's expression changed. What was going on? What was that? Mirror of Yang. Wasn't that something that could only be used by a greater success divine body? He hadn't reached greater success yet, but he could already use it? Just as he was in a daze, Lin Xian moved. Sword light flickered under his feet. The immortal slaying sword turned into a spiritual light. The power of the great dragon sword spirit erupted. Heaven-defying sword, immortal slaying. This time, Lin Xian didn't hold back at all. An invincible power erupted, piercing through the moonlight. Pooh! Blood erupted. With a muffled groan, the Supreme Being's blood dripped from the sky. This blood carried a terrifying aura, crushing the void and crushing mountains and rivers. Heaven and earth phenomena erupted. Everyone went crazy. The desolate spirit people couldn't believe what they saw. The Supreme Being was injured. The Supreme Being let out a roar. His arm was pierced and white bones appeared. This pain made him crazy. He was actually bitten by an ant. Damn it, I don't believe it. His eyes were red and filled with murderous intent as he stared straight ahead. His great dragon sword soul could also be used to such an extent? Damn it, too damn it. He seemed to have gone crazy. Are you injured? Lin Xian smiled. I've said it before. It's impossible for you to kill me. I did treat you as an opponent and wanted to break through the limit. But now, it seems that the pressure you gave me is just that. You're too weak. It seems that I have to find a real great emperor. There was disdain in his words. Ha 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 ha. Boy, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. The Supreme Being laughed in anger. He directly broke his entire arm and threw it into the void. Then the endless nomological laws grew another one. He said coldly, I admit that you have a lot of trump cards and your strength is very strong. You are very close to the great emperor realm. However, you seem to be close, but in fact you can't reach the great emperor realm in millions of years. Although I don't have immortal chi, it's not that I can't use some of my supernatural powers. It's just that I have to pay a little price. Originally, I was going to use these methods when fighting against a real great emperor. Now, I'm going to use them in advance. I'll let you know my true strength. The Supreme Being roared, and a burst of aura suddenly erupted from his body. Between heaven and earth, there were countless angry roars. The faces of the people in the barren tomb also changed. Could it be that the Supreme Being wanted to use that method? It was a little early. Could it be that Linwoody was already so terrifying? Damn it. Although it was a little early, once the Supreme Being used it, the boy would definitely die. Endless runes appeared on the Supreme Being's body, covering heaven and earth. With him as the center, they swept in all directions. At this moment, the runes formed a set of array formation and were slowly disappearing. When Lin Xian saw this scene, he also frowned. He sealed his own power. Was this the power of the Supreme Being? Dalong said, Boy, be careful. He's going to unlock part of his power. The Supreme Being had scattered the immortal chi and divine fire. This way, he wouldn't need to sleep and could live for a long time. However, some Supreme Beings still had a backup plan. At the moment of becoming an immortal, they had a chance to recover their peak power. However, there was a price. This kind of recovery was irreversible. Once recovered, they could only live for another 1,000 years. If they couldn't become an immortal within 1,000 years, their souls would be destroyed and they would never be resurrected. There was such a thing. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed that the Supreme Being in front of him was about to unlock the seal. Sure enough, he felt a vast power recovering from the other's body. Chapter 5893. Dalong said, He probably doesn't dare to unlock the seal completely. He can only unlock a little. Therefore, it's not impossible. After Lin Xian heard this, he took a deep breath and nodded. Next, the real battle will begin. Between heaven and earth, there was a roar, and countless visions of heaven and earth filled the air. The array formation between the opponents' eyebrows slowly unlocked. The array pattern disappeared, and a powerful force spread out. Have you recovered a little? Ji Zun clenched his fist, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. I can feel the powerful force. With one punch, heaven and earth are shattered. The power is much stronger than before. Well, that's it. Ji Zun's gaze fell on Lin Xian. He asked, Now that you can feel my power, do you still dare to be arrogant in front of me? Boom! An extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. It connected into a piece, and heaven and earth were cracking. Lin Wudi, this is called the light of nirvana. Under this light, turn into ashes. As soon as that ray of light appeared, its powerful energy caused the entire world to churn like a vast ocean, drowning everything in its path. So powerful, the people in the distance were terrified. They couldn't stop trembling. This power was very close to that of a great emperor. Lin Xian took a deep breath as he looked at the light of nirvana. He could indeed feel the immense pressure from it. But so what? Wasn't this pressure what he was looking for? His 9-yang divine body shook slightly, not because of fear, but because of excitement. Only by breaking through the limits of life and death could Lin Xian achieve the great success of his divine body. Now was the opportunity. Endless light. He roared, and the terrifying light flew out and collided with the light of nirvana. The two exploded, and an unparalleled power swept out. Lin Xian coughed up mouthfuls of blood. See, Lin Wudi, you're no match for me at all. Hee hee again. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stomped his foot and charged out with boundless light. His body opened and closed, sweeping in all directions. With a shake of his fist, the void shattered. He formed a seal with his palm, forming a yang mirror. The light on the mirror broke the sky. However, this time, her self-esteem was even stronger. Her eyes turned into two moons and fell down. After shattering the yang mirror, Lin Xian was once again sent flying, his body drenched in blood. Lin Wuti was injured. Great, Lin Wuti was finally injured. When the people of Huangling saw this scene, they all laughed out loud. I've already said that he is simply no match for our utmost exalted. That was for sure. Once a supreme being appeared, they would be invincible under the heavens. Who would be able to compete with them? Perhaps only a true sovereign realm expert would be able to contend against them. These people all laughed complacently. Kid, Dalong was also worried. He said, with my power, the power of this great dragon's sword can erupt and contend against it. However, Lin Xian shook his head. No, I want to use my body strength. I want to break through my body. Lin Xian didn't use the power of the great dragon sword. Instead, he rushed forward once more. Sun symbols appeared on his body to mend his wounds. At the same time, he waved his hand. This time, he condensed the yang mirror again and kept attacking. However, he still fell back. In the following time, Lin Xian fell back 5 times. More and more cracks appeared on his body. His body swayed as if he would fall down at any time. Stupid thing. Supreme Being looked down from above and said coldly, "Do you see? This is the gap between us, a huge gap. Don't even think about competing with me in this lifetime." Another palm shot out and slapped the 9 yang divine body. Cracks appeared on Lin Xian's body. His arm was broken, and he fell into the void. He stood up and laughed. The people watching the battle from afar were horrified. Is this kid crazy? The people of Huangling sneered. This should be his last struggle before he dies, right? However, Lin Xian was smiling. Even though he was injured, he was able to sense that there seemed to be a mysterious power emerging from the 9 suns' divine body. He had swallowed 2 divine sun fruits before. At this moment, the effect had completely spread throughout his body. This was a long-lost feeling. Lin Xian had felt it before he broke through. This meant that Lin Xian was about to break through. Was he finally about to enter the realm of great success? But it was not enough. Lin Xian knew that the pressure was not enough. He had not reached his limit yet. He stood up and sneered, "What supreme being? You're just a reptile, struggling at death's door and living until now. You don't dare to face your true self. You are not even a great emperor, and you want to become an immortal? Dream on. You are courting death." Supreme Being was completely angry. He threw out both palms and slapped Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's body was pierced through. He tried his best to defend himself, but the boundless radiance around him was scattered. "Ant, I will catch you and let you know what it means to live a life worse than death." Supreme Being strode forward. He was really angry. He would not allow others to challenge him. Boom! Boom! He attacked aggressively. Lin Xian raised his fist and fought back. Their fists collided, erupting with endless light. Lin Xian's palm made the sound of bones breaking, but he still gritted his teeth and continued to attack. "It's useless. You can't break my defense. My strength has recovered. Only a great emperor can defeat me." He kicked out and Lin Xian flew backward. "Kid." Dalong also sighed. This was indeed a trial. All the bones in Lin Xian's body were broken, but he did not help, because he could feel that a new kind of power was recovering in Lin Xian's body. It was spreading and enveloping his body. Lin Xian's bones had regrown, and the muscles on his body had changed as well. Lin Xian was making great strides toward attaining a greater success divine body. Lin Xian stood up. The corners of his mouth curled up. This kind of power was the power of a breakthrough, but it was not enough. Haha, what prime? Is this all you have? You can't kill me. Lin Xian rushed over. He wanted more threats. He was courting death. Prime was also angry. Originally, he wanted to hold back and torture his opponent. Now, he was ready to turn his opponent into ashes. On his right palm, a seal was undone. Endless power erupted, and he slammed his palm over. This power was even more terrifying than before. Everyone gasped. This was like the palm of an immortal. It was terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian also roared. He raised his fist to block. With a boom, it was as if he was struck by lightning. His soul shook violently. In the next moment, he was enveloped by the terrifying palm. That place was completely turned into nothingness. A black hole appeared between heaven and earth. When the people in the barren hills saw this scene, they exclaimed, "He was hit. Haha, then he would definitely die." Humph, Lin Wuti finally fell. From now on, there would be no such person in the world. He was too reckless. Did he think that he could be arrogant just because he was a genius? Dead geniuses were nothing. Countless people sneered. The corners of Prime Master Baron Hill's mouth also raised. A smile. Done. Although this time he had unlocked some seals. However, he had finally dealt with a potential enemy. Since the other party was dead, then the treasures on the other party's body were his. Later, he would break through the void and take the great dragon's sword soul. Chapter 5894. Lin Xian had a lot of treasures on him, especially the great dragon's sword soul, which made this person very jealous. After all, it was once a great emperor. It had an extreme weapon and its own great emperor's ancient scripture. Therefore, he didn't need any of these. What he wanted was the offensive saint technique between heaven and earth. Legend had it that the great dragon's sword had an extraordinary origin. In fact, the 5 swords in the world were all so mysterious. Even great emperors were envious. This time, if he could get the great dragon's sword soul, then who in the world would be his opponent? He could definitely use this to break through and become a real immortal. Thinking of this, he waved his hand and tore open the void to look for the great dragon's sword soul. However, at this moment, in the void, a figure walked out from the crack. It was a man dripping with blood. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes were piercingly cold, like a divine knife. His face was even more chiseled. His figure was tall and straight, and he stepped on the void. "It's you, you're still alive." Ji Zun seemed to have seen a ghost. This is impossible. The other party was hit by his palm. How could he still be alive? Below, the powerhouses of the desolate spirit were also stunned. No way. How did he dodge? Was he immortal? Damn it, this guy is too heaven-defying, right? He didn't die. No, why do I feel that the aura on his body has become stronger? Illusion, you must be hallucinating. Countless exclamations were heard. Ji Zun also frowned. You should have used an extreme weapon, right? Legend had it that Lin Wuti had an extreme weapon by his side. Perhaps it was with the power of the extreme weapon that he dodged the attack. He shook his head slightly. It's useless. Although the extreme weapon is good, you can't use all of its power. Now you're seriously injured. I'll grab the extreme weapon later. I'll be able to kill you with one palm. An extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. He raised his palm, and on his palm the law continued to spread. There were phantoms of immortal chi on it. This was the effect after the seal was unlocked. Lin Xian smiled. Ji Zun, I have to thank you. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to break through. What did you say? Ji Zun's palm stopped in midair. He frowned. Breakthrough? You said you broke through? Impossible. Have you made a breakthrough and become a greater success divine body? I still don't believe it. How can it be so easy to break through? It's not up to you whether you believe me or not. Lin Xian's eyes blossomed with a confident light. That strike just now, he had indeed felt that his life was in danger. In this moment of crisis, he didn't dodge. Instead, he took out his third sun god fruit. He swallowed it to protect his heart meridians. Then he endured the attack. The power of the third divine sun, fruit, exploded. Lin Xian had been on the brink of death, but he had broken through his limits and obtained a great success divine body. At this moment, his strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. Therefore, he still wasn't afraid when facing a spiritual sovereign. It was said that the body of a greater mastery cultivator was comparable to that of a god monarch. Was it true that he dared to challenge a god monarch? He waved his hand and said, "Take out your power and attack me." "Damn it, what do you take me for? Die for me." The spiritual sovereign roared crazily as his palm came crashing down. A rumbling sound rang out with monstrous killing intent. This time, he would definitely be able to kill the other party. Lin Xian clenched his fist and punched out. His fist was resplendent like the fist of a war god. When it collided with the other party's palm, an earth-shaking sound rang out, and the power swept out in all directions. Everyone's eyes widened. Impossible. He actually blocked it again. How was this possible? This power, your physique. The spiritual sovereign's pupils constricted. He felt a super strong power from the other party's body. Could it be that the other party had really broken through? Impossible. He didn't believe it. He roared crazily and was about to attack. However, Lin Xian's fist turned into a palm and grabbed the other party's wrist. Then he sent out a kick and landed on his opponent's other arm. Boom! The spiritual sovereign was sent flying by the kick. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his arm was trembling non-stop. How was this possible? He was actually injured by the opponent's fist. He was stunned, and so was everyone else. The world was terrifyingly quiet. Lin Xian withdrew his fist, and a smile appeared on his face. The rumors were true. A great success divine body was comparable to a great emperor. I just broke through, and my realm is not stable, but I can already compete with the supreme. Once it is completely stable, my strength will be even more terrifying. Lin Xian was too happy. He had finally reached this step. The current me should be equivalent to the 10-crown king. Damn it, what 10-crown king? It's impossible. I will kill you. The spiritual sovereign on the other side roared crazily, Silent Blade. An extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. The surrounding desolate aura formed a storm that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. However, Lin Xian stomped his foot and boundless flames swept out. The storm that filled the sky disappeared. Peace was restored between heaven and earth. The spiritual sovereign was stunned. His attack was interrupted. How was this possible? Lin Xian said, 3,000 divine flames engulfed the heavens. With Lin Xian as the center, boundless divine flames jumped and quickly spread. No, how is this possible? This power? Hurry up and run. Below, the 9 crown kings of the desolate tomb went crazy. Those who were slow to escape were instantly turned into ashes. The others were terrified. What kind of power was this? He was no longer weaker than their prime exalted. Boom! Lin Xian rushed over and used the 9-yang divine fist. His fist technique was shocking as he fought with the Supreme. The spiritual sovereign was so depressed that he vomited blood. Even though Lin Xian had been able to contend with him before, he was still able to do so. However, he was suppressed every time and was beaten until his entire body was covered in blood. But now, the situation seemed to have changed. Lin Xian's fist was filled with power, causing his body to tremble. It was really a great success divine body, a great success 9-yang divine body. How many tens of thousands of years had this kind of physique appeared again? Fear appeared in the spiritual sovereign's eyes. Boom! Boom! Endless light formed a mirror, the yang mirror. It sent the spiritual sovereign flying. The spiritual sovereign was like a kite with a broken string as he vomited blood in the air. He felt that his bones were broken. Damn it, it was too despicable. Did he actually lose? And he was even injured. Damn it, if he lost to the great emperor, he would accept it. After all, he wasn't the great emperor now. However, he couldn't tolerate being injured by a young man. He roared towards the sky as if he was crazy. Lin Xian was incomparably calm. You don't have to be angry. Being defeated by me isn't a shameful thing, because I'm already the 10-crown king. You should be proud to be defeated by the 10-crown king. What 10-crown king? I don't believe it. The spiritual sovereign rushed over again. He kept attacking, but not long after, he was sent flying again and vomited blood again. He was crazy. Could he really not block the other party's attack? Was he suppressed by the other party? Damn it, I want to undo the seal. On his body, the seal rings rotated rapidly and were about to be undone. A monstrous force swept out. It seemed that the spiritual sovereign wanted to recover his peak strength. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Nine God. He attacked. His entire person seemed to have turned into the sun god. He punched out and directly interrupted the other party's movements. He sent the other party flying. Chapter 5895. Ji Zun spat out blood again and was sent flying. This time he felt that all the bones in his body had been broken. Damn it, how was this possible? The other party had actually injured him. The experts in the barren tomb were also in despair. They really couldn't believe that their Ji Zun would actually be defeated. His strength was too heaven-defying. Under such circumstances, he was actually able to break through to the greater mastery body. In the future, who could suppress him? Those 9 crowned kings' faces were filled with fear. Legend had it that the greater mastery divine body was comparable to a great emperor. Now it seemed that the rumors were true. What a powerful strength! Lin Xian was also incomparably happy. Just now, he had used the god of 9 suns. It was a new divine ability in the divine body. It was extremely powerful. One strike had actually broken the other party's bones. Again, Lin Xian clenched his fists and strode over. As he walked, flames spread under his feet, and his figure was also constantly growing taller. He seemed to have turned into a god of fire, indomitable with endless power. Damn it, kid! Just you wait, I won't let you go. Ling Jizun roared and turned to flee. He had no choice, now that he was injured, and his confidence had also been damaged. He was not in his best state at all. Now, even if he broke the seal, the gains would not make up for the losses. There was only one chance to break the seal. He could not break it again. So he prepared to leave first and temporarily avoid the brunt of the attack. Escaped? Our Jizun had actually escaped. Those people in the barren tomb were in despair. Jizun, please take us away. Yes, Jizun, please protect us. They shouted crazily. However, it was useless. Ling Jizun fled very quickly. Boom! Lin Xian struck out again, causing Jizun to vomit blood. However, Jizun fled with all his might. His speed was really fast. Lin Xian chased for a while and returned. There was no choice. The heavens' land was very mysterious. He didn't know if there was any danger. Therefore, he didn't chase. In any case, he already had a greater mastery divine body now, and his strength had greatly increased. If he met the other party in the future, he would kill him. After all, the other party was not his match at all. That Lin Wudi is back. Run. When the 9 crown kings saw this, they quickly fled. Lin Xian sneered. The 9 suns descended. The 9 suns descended and sealed off the area. These people were all beaten back. Lin Wudi, please spare our lives. We won't do it again. We are willing to submit. We will tell you everything we know. In order to survive, these experts immediately knelt on the ground. There was nothing they could do about it. After all, this person was even more terrifying than their utmost exalted. How would they dare to resist? Very good. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. He didn't kill these people. He was prepared to take them in as his subordinates. As the vanguard, they were sent to scout the upper heavens. These people had been here before and had searched some places. Furthermore, they had told Lin Xian about these places. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It seemed like the high heavens was more mysterious than he had imagined. These people had only explored a little bit and were already astonished. More importantly, he didn't know how many great emperors and experts had gathered here. These powerhouses of the Alliance were all very ancient powerhouses and belonged to different forces. There were the realm of the gods and the other world. In addition, there were some rogue cultivators. There were also other utmost exalted from the forbidden land of life. How was the battle? How was the realm of the gods? This was what Lin Xian was most worried about. He didn't know if his father and Lord Alcohol were in danger. The experts in the Barren Hill said, "I heard that the realm of the gods has successfully taken down a city. The other world wants to take the city, but it hasn't succeeded yet. However, it is said that they have already started fighting. The battle between the great emperors is earth-shattering." "I know." Lin Xian nodded. With a wave of his hand, countless sun flames flew into their foreheads. He said, "If you betray me, you will immediately be destroyed." "We don't dare, we don't dare." The 9 crowned kings hurriedly shook their heads. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Just like before, continue to scout for information here and report to me." "Go and do it. Also, don't think about asking the Supreme to save you. He doesn't have the ability. We know." After these 9 crowned kings saw Lin Xian's methods, they didn't dare to be presumptuous anymore. They all went to scout for information. As for Lin Xian, he took a deep breath. His face was a little pale. This time, he was happy that his body had broken through to greater success. However, his realm was still unstable. Moreover, the battle just now had injured him. After all, the other party was a supreme. He wasn't someone to be trifled with. Every move carried the power of desolation. It could take the life and power of others. He now wanted to get rid of the desolate laws in his body. Lin Xian prepared to find a place to enter seclusion and consolidate his realm. After searching around, Lin Xian flew back. He felt that the Barren Hill Supreme had found a very good place. As expected of a Supreme, he was indeed experienced. This place was safe and filled with mysterious power. It was really a good place to stay. Since that was the case, Lin Xian began to cultivate here. He sat down and formed hand seals with both hands. At the same time, he formed an array formation and began to recover. The surrounding mountain ranges clouds once again spread out, covering heaven and earth. 9 suns revolved around Lin Xian, forming a mysterious sun diagram. The flames danced. The power of the divine fire seed was becoming more and more terrifying. Gradually, the 9 suns around Lin Xian began to revolve, absorbing the surrounding power. They turned into flames to continue to improve the strength of his physique. However, a problem occurred as soon as they absorbed. Suddenly, a vibration of power came from this mountain range. It was as if something had awakened, causing Lin Xian's physique to shake and his blood to surge. What was it? Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. He now had a greater success, divine body. What kind of power was it? It could threaten him. That power just now made his hair stand on end. He stopped cultivating and stood up. Then he looked around with his Rinnegan. The power of reincarnation enveloped this land. Lin Xian began to investigate. Suddenly, he felt another vibration of power, shattering the gaze of reincarnation. At the same time, he felt that there seemed to be a pair of mysterious eyes staring at him between heaven and earth. It made his soul feel cold. There was someone in this place. Who was it? Was it the Huangling Supreme who came? Or did the other party bring helpers? No, it wasn't the power of the Supreme. Lin Xian felt that this power was too mysterious. Moreover, it seemed to come from under this land. Was it a trick set up by the Supreme? Or was it something that belonged to this heavenly land? He asked DeLong also said there's an unusual aura. It shouldn't be set up by that Supreme. After all, he had just arrived here not long ago. The heavenly land was incomparably mysterious. It was known as one of the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Naturally, it was terrifying. Perhaps there was some mysterious existence under this land? After Lin Xian heard this, he also took a deep breath. Then let's take a look. He prepared to activate his Rinnegan and turn into a ray of reincarnation light. They dug into the ground and began to investigate. Clouds and mist were still rolling under the ground. All of a sudden, he felt as if a hand had reached out from behind him. It tore apart the power of reincarnation, and that attack carried an extremely terrifying killing intent. It grabbed at Lin Xian. Chapter 5896. Sensing this mysterious power, Lin Xian's pupils constricted. At this moment, DeLong said, "Kid, leave first." Lin Xian's expression changed. His body flickered, and he left instantly. As soon as he left, the power pierced through the void, forming a black hole. Cracks spread in all directions. Lin Xian's expression changed after seeing this. At the same time, he felt a familiar power, which seemed to be related to the power of the 6 paths. "What is this?" His face was full of shock. DeLong said, retreating first. This place was very mysterious. Lin Xian nodded. After all, he had just broken through, and he wasn't familiar with this place. So he prepared to leave first and come back later to investigate. This place must have some secrets. Buzz. His body flickered, and he wanted to leave. After he left, the mountain range also began to shake. A terrifying light pierced through the ground, creating an extremely frightening phenomenon of heaven and earth. However, it soon disappeared again, as if it had never appeared in the first place. Lin Wan left, and he went to another mountain to cultivate. At the same time, the powerful supremes in the upper heavens land, the great emperors and their subordinates, 9 crown kings, were all on the move. They were either gathering intelligence, attacking enemies, or searching for treasures. All kinds of battles happened every day. In a valley, there were mountains and clear waters, like a heavenly realm. A man in purple stood there. It was Great Emperor Zi Luo. Many powerful 9 crown kings stood around him. This was a stronghold of the other world. Great Emperor Zi Luo asked, "How is the situation? We haven't taken down the cities of the god domain yet, and we've been injured. As for the other cities, we're still searching." Great Emperor Zi Luo nodded, and then said, "What about the other thing?" "There's a clue." 9 crown kings said, "We went to look for the land of souls, and we found a person. This person has a very mysterious soul power, and we're trying to suppress it. When we catch him, we'll send him over." "Oh, is that so?" Great Emperor Zi Luo was delighted. This time, he came to the Upper Heavens land with his own intentions. The Upper Heavens land was one of the 10 lands, and it was extremely mysterious. There must be many precious treasures here. They couldn't be found in the outside world. What he needed were soul-type treasures, because he wasn't a complete great emperor. He was missing half a soul. The great battleback then had left him unable to recover. Perhaps there was something in high heavens that could help him recover his soul. After it recovered, its strength would increase again and reach its peak state. This was something he had always dreamed of. One had to know that the last time he faced Lin Xian, he actually failed to kill him. This made him feel a sense of danger. He had to return to his peak. Now that he heard such news, how could he not be happy? There was a lake in the celestial land that contained the power of the soul. At this moment, a great battle was taking place. One of them was a soul attribute expert. It was a woman who was incomparably beautiful. She faced over a dozen 9 crown kings, and in the end, She was suppressed by their attacks. She was unwilling, but she was still sealed. Take them away. More than 10 nine-crowned kings quickly moved out. After they left, an illusory figure appeared on a withered tree near the lake. He was from the Baron tomb and was in charge of gathering information. How frightening, said the voice. That woman was really unlucky. She looked like a top-notch genius, but she was attacked by a group of people. This time, she was captured by the Permitha people, and her fate was unknown. Forget it, I'd better investigate. Otherwise, that Lin Moody won't let me off. He quickly left. High heavens in a valley. More than 10 experts returned and knelt on one knee, reporting to the Emperor. We've captured the person. Is that so? Great Emperor Zi Luo turned around, his eyes shining with a shocking light. Bring her out. More than a dozen experts formed seals with their hands. They tore open the void, and a woman appeared from within. Let me go. The beautiful woman shouted coldly. However, it was useless. Who are you? I'm Hun Chanchan, the daughter of the Soul Emperor. Do you dare to attack me? The daughter of the Soul Emperor? Great Emperor Zi Luo's eyes lit up. What a pleasant surprise. No wonder I sensed such a terrifying soul aura from you. Who are you? Feeling Great Emperor Zi Luo's gaze, Hun Chanchan's pupils constricted. This was the power of a great emperor. It was actually a great emperor who attacked her. Her expression was somewhat ugly. May I know how I've offended you, Senior? I'll definitely apologize. Can you let me go for the sake of my father? Facing a great emperor, she didn't dare to be disrespectful. However, Great Emperor Zi Luo snorted coldly. The Soul Emperor? Humph. She actually dared to refuse when I asked her to come to the Permitha realm. He's dead. If he's alive, I'll personally suppress him. As for you, since you're here, don't even think about leaving. What, you're from the Permitha realm? Hun Chanchan's expression changed drastically. How could she not know about the Permitha realm? These people were supreme overlords. They were high and mighty and had even suppressed a great emperor. Not to mention, she was only the daughter of the land. I heard that the Soul Emperor's ancient scriptures have an ultimate technique called the Soul Replenishing Technique. Have you learned it? Hand it over, and I'll give you a quick death. Hun Chanchan's expression changed. You want the Soul Replenishing Technique? Impossible. The Soul Replenishing Technique was very mysterious. It was created by his father, but his father felt that it wasn't perfect, so he no longer used it. However, Hun Chanchan had inherited the great emperor's inheritance, so he naturally knew about it. He didn't dare to cultivate this kind of thing. According to his father, this ability was only created halfway and was very dangerous. It was easy to go berserk. Unwilling? Aren't you afraid that I'll take your soul? You don't have to say it, I'll do it myself. Great Emperor Zi Luo sneered. With the Soul Replenishing Technique, his soul might be able to be repaired, so how could he miss it? An extremely cold light burst out from his eyes. Great Emperor Zi Luo's soul flew out and began to envelop Hun Chanchan's soul. Hun Chanchan felt as if Mount Tai was pressing down on him, as if his soul was about to split open. Boom, boom! At this moment, a mysterious power suddenly erupted from Hun Chanchan's head, forming a halo that floated above his head to resist its father's power. Hun Chanchan was delighted. Great Emperor Zi Luo also frowned. Soul Ring. You actually still have this thing. The Soul Emperor is already dead. So what if his ability is still here? We're both great emperors. Watch me break it. Great Emperor Zi Luo snorted coldly. The light in his eyes became even more terrifying. However, this soul ring was extremely terrifying. Great Emperor Zi Luo couldn't break it. Damn it! The Soul Emperor was a great emperor who was proficient in the soul. His soul laws were extremely terrifying. As for him, his soul was still missing half. In comparison, his soul was much weaker. Therefore, he couldn't break it. Great Emperor Z, Luo's expression was cold. He wouldn't give up. If once wasn't enough, then he would try twice. Even if it was a year or two, he would break it. He wanted to obtain the heaven replenishing technique. Great Emperor Z Luo was here. Han Qianshan's face was pale, and he couldn't resist at all. He could only rely on the soul ring above his head. Chapter 5897. Han Qianshan was targeted by a great emperor and was in grave danger. Lin Xian didn't know any of this. At this moment, Lin Xian was still on the mountain, cultivating his 9-yang divine body. It was getting more and more mysterious. It was as if a sun war god had reappeared in the mortal world. The 9 suns kept spinning, and each time it brought about a powerful flame. Lin Xian's every breath was filled with a mysterious and supreme power. He was cultivating with his eyes closed. A small storm had also set off in the upper heavens. Have you heard? Someone saw a supreme being leave injured. The blood of the supreme being dripped down, forming countless black holes. What? Supreme being Huangling was injured? No way. Who was the one who injured him? Could it be the great emperor of the Nirvana realm? It shouldn't be, right? The Nirvana realm and the people of the deity realm were fighting. Now, they should be fighting the deity realm with all their strength. They wouldn't attack the supreme being, right? Unless that supreme being was reckless and provoked the Nirvana realm. But I don't think he should do that. No, it doesn't seem to be the Nirvana realm. Then who is it? Who is so powerful? Countless voices of discussion were heard. They were all guessing who did it. There were even supreme beings from other forbidden lands who began to look for Supreme Being Huangling to ask him who the enemy was. Supreme Being Huangling's face was cold, and he didn't say a word. In the end, he simply left and found a place where there was no one. He stopped and roared at the sky. Damn it, damn it, damn it. This time it was really embarrassing. He didn't expect that the news of his defeat and injury would spread out. If others were to know that he had been injured by a junior, he would be utterly humiliated. Lin Wudi, just you wait, I won't let you go. So what if you have a great success divine body? You're not a real great emperor. Just you wait. When my seal is broken, it will be the time of your death. In the valley, great Emperor Ziluo was still attacking, and the light of his soul ring was dimmer than before. However, it was still very mysterious. It seemed that he wouldn't be able to break it in a few days. But great Emperor Ziluo was very patient. In the evening, a few figures arrived in the distance, and the leader was a man. His body was surrounded by extremely terrifying lightning. It was like heavenly lightning that could destroy everything. This was the Thunderclap Emperor. 9-crowned king in the valley hurriedly bowed. The Thunderclap Emperor frowned when he saw Emperor Luo. You've been here for the past few days, haven't you gone out? Have you forgotten what your mission is? Don't do anything to this woman. Hearing this, great Emperor Luo snorted coldly. My business is none of your business. As soon as the Thunderclap Emperor attacked, a thunderbolt shot towards Han Qian. This was a destructive force. Emperor Luo was startled. He waved his sleeve to block the lightning. His embroidered robe was pierced through. With a gloomy face, he said, "What do you mean? How dare you destroy my hope?" "What hope?" "Don't forget, this is an order personally given by the virtual immortal. He had to kill the people from the God realm. As for you, you didn't do anything at all. Instead, you hid in this valley all day long. Could it be that you want to disobey the orders of the virtual immortal? Jinglei, don't use the virtual immortal lord to pressure me." Ziluo snorted coldly. "I have my reasons for doing this. As long as my soul recovers, my strength will increase greatly. It will be easy to deal with the God realm. I'm just using my own method. If you don't understand, then don't interfere." Great Emperor Ziluo didn't have a good impression of the Thunderclap Emperor. After all, the Thunderclap Emperor was a complete, great emperor. He had always been arrogant. He looked down on him and green robe. Now he was using a commanding tone. How could he tolerate it? The thunderclap said, "Humph, recover to your peak? Stop dreaming. You'll only be a broken great emperor in this lifetime. Listen to me obediently. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences. 3 days. I'll give you 3 more days. If you don't come out after 3 days, then don't blame me for being rude." After the thunderclap emperor finished speaking, he waved his sleeve and disappeared with his people. He was annoyed when he saw great Emperor Ziluo in this valley, so he left. "What are you so arrogant for? When my soul is restored and I recover to my peak, I'll let you know how powerful I am." Great Emperor Ziluo said through gritted teeth. This time he must succeed. After speaking, the laws on his body rose and became even more terrifying. Han Qianqian, on the other hand, looked desperate. At this rate, the soul ring would be destroyed in less than 3 days. At that time, she wouldn't be able to resist. On a mountain peak, 9 suns circled around and then slowly entered Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian opened his eyes and roared at the sky. The sunlight in the sky scattered across the 9 heavens. Even in the dark night, it was extremely bright. He continuously punched in the air, shattering heaven and earth. Then he slowly retracted his power. He had stabilized his cultivation. He had a complete, great success divine body. Lin Xian was extremely happy that his 9 yang divine body had reached great success. He entered the sword world and saw that Murong Qingqing and the others had already entered the depths of the sword world. They began to look for their own opportunities. He left a message and then came out. He did not disturb them. Lin Xian formed a seal with his hands and began to summon the 9 crown kings that he had controlled previously. Not long after, the 9 crown kings returned and knelt on one knee on the ground. Greetings to Lin Gongzi. They were incomparably respectful. When some of the elders sensed Lin Xian's aura, their expressions changed drastically. This aura seemed to be stronger than before. How was the situation? What did you find out? Lin Xian asked. The 9 crown kings all told him what they had found out. Some said that the thunderclap emperor on the other side was fighting with an emperor from the god realm. The 2 fought for a few days, but it was difficult to determine a victor. Then they left. There were also people who said that great Emperor Baiyu of the Permitha realm also attacked a city. In the end, she didn't succeed for the time being. However, they didn't see Emperor Ziluo's figure. One news after another came. Lin Xian heard it and narrowed his eyes. He asked, "Is that all?" Among them, a middle-aged man thought for a moment and then said there was another news, but it wasn't from the emperor, but from the 9 crown kings. He recounted the scene that he had seen by the lake. A dozen 9 crown kings had surrounded a young woman. That woman was a soul manipulator, but she had been suppressed and taken away. Lin Xian frowned. "Soul manipulator? Do you know who those people are?" The 9 crown kings said, "They're from the other side." Lin Xian's face darkened when he heard that. Emperor Ziluo from the other side hadn't shown up for a long time. As far as he knew, Emperor Ziluo was missing half of his soul. Now there were soul manipulators. It seemed that Emperor Ziluo wanted to recover from his injuries. "Humph, I won't let you succeed." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. Lin Xian was confident that he could fight against a crippled emperor. Therefore he prepared to attack. "Do you know where Emperor Ziluo is?" Lin Xian asked. The 9 crown kings nodded. "I have a rough idea. Tell me where it is." After the 9 crown kings finished speaking, Lin Xian rose into the air and quickly flew over. At the same time, he opened his Rinnegan to investigate. Before long, his lips curled up. "I sense his aura. This time, I'll let him know how powerful I am." Chapter 5898. Valley? Han Qianqian was in despair. A crack appeared on the soul ring above her head, and it dimmed. Emperor Ziluo was overjoyed. Great, give me half a day, and I'll be able to shatter your soul ring. Then I'll personally collect your soul. As soon as he said that, a cracking sound rang out as a second crack appeared on the wall, causing the light to dim even more. Not long after, the third crack appeared once again. Han Qianqian was in despair. She closed her eyes. A divine fire seed appeared between her eyebrows. She had made up her mind to self-destruct. Even if she died, she wouldn't let him get the soul-mending technique. Seeing Han Qianqian's actions, Emperor Ziluo went crazy. If you dare to self-destruct, I won't forgive you. The Permitha realm has the path of hell. I'll capture your soul from hell and torture it so that you can never be reincarnated. Hearing this, Han Qianqian's soul trembled in fear. Then I'll vanish into thin air, and not even my soul will be left. Han Qianqian opened his eyes, and a look of determination appeared in his eyes. How dare you? How dare you? Emperor Ziluo went crazy. Hope was right in front of him. If it was destroyed, his little heart wouldn't be able to take it. He roared at the sky, and immortal qi erupted from his body. It seemed that he was going to attack with all his strength. Boom! Han Qianqian's expression changed drastically. At this moment, a ray of light fell from the sky. It was as if a sun had fallen from the sky, illuminating the entire valley. A terrifying aura swept across the area. Emperor Luo's expression changed. Who was it? He roared, and his palm clenched into a fist and punched out. Boom! A shocking battle and terrifying power swept in all directions. The entire valley was torn apart, and the 9 crowned kings flew into the distance in fright. They were shocked. Who was it? Emperor Luo's expression was even more serious. He tore open the void and shouted coldly, How dare you ruin my plan? Are you going against the Permitha realm? Get over here, kneel, and accept your punishment. The light between heaven and earth disappeared, and Lin Xian's figure landed. However, at this moment, Lin Xian was surrounded by golden flames, like a sun war god. Who are you? The 9 crowned kings from the other side of the river also roared, Attack! Kill him! These 9 crowned kings were enraged. Since when did they allow a young man to behave so atrociously? They quickly rushed over. More than 10 figures blotted out the sky and covered the earth. In their hands, there was an extremely terrifying killing power. Boom, boom, boom Lin Xian. On the other hand, swung his fists. Every punch turned a 9 crowned king into a bloody mist. After a few punches, the dozen or so 9 crowned kings turned into raindrops and fell to the ground. Were they all dead? The expressions of the people in the valley changed greatly. What kind of power was this? This was power that surpassed 9 crowned king. Who was this person? Who are you? He dared to go against the Nirvana realm. After Lin Xian heard this, he laughed loudly. The flames on his body quickly changed, revealing his true face. Is Hagen really that great? It's not like I haven't killed one before. You are Lin Wuti. How dare you come here? The 9 crowned kings were all shocked. Some of them had seen Lin Wuti before. Hence, they cried out in surprise. Emperor Ziluo was also taken aback. Kid, you really don't know what's good for you. He was overjoyed. He had chased after Lin Xian before. However, the universe was vast and he had no time. Hence, he had given up. He had thought that he wouldn't know when he would see Lin Wuti again. He hadn't expected Lin Wuti to come to the upper heavens himself. Moreover, Lin Wuti had appeared before him. The heavens are helping me. It seems that I am very lucky today. I can get the heaven mending technique and capture you. If I can get the dragon sword soul, that would be even better. Let's see who dares to look down on me then. His eyes shone with a terrifying light. If he had a complete soul and the dragon sword soul, he could surpass the Thunderclap Emperor and gain the attention of the Grand Supreme. He could even reach the level of a virtual immortal. Thinking of this, he trembled with excitement. "It's you?" Han Qianshan also cried out in surprise. She recognized Lin Xian. She said, "Lin Gongzi, run. He is a great emperor. You are no match for him. Go to the Moon Palace and ask the Moon Immortal to help." "Humph, no one can run." Emperor Zi Luo waved his hand, and the 9 crown kings behind him swarmed over. However, Lin Xian shot out endless light. The light pierced through the sky and pierced through the 9 crown kings. Over 10 figures landed on the ground. The others retreated in horror. "Is this guy a god of death? He is too strong. He can kill us instantly." This is beyond the 9 crown kings' power. They didn't dare to attack again. Lin Xian sneered. "Don't let these trash deal with me. Emperor Ziluo, I am here to fight you. Today, I will trample you under my feet. Kid, you are too arrogant. I admit that you are stronger than us. However, you want to fight the great emperor? You are courting death." An elder sneered. Another 9 crown kings said, "Great emperor, please suppress him. Let him know the power of the other world." "Don't worry, I will take care of this arrogant kid." As he spoke, he reached out and grabbed. "Lin Wuti, I will not let you leave." "Not good." Han Qianshan's expression changed. She knew Lin Xian was shockingly talented and had a bright future. However, he was still too young. He couldn't fight the great emperors. However, it was too late for her to say anything. That enormous purple palm covered the sky and covered the earth as it grabbed Lin Xian and enveloped him within. "Haha, in my palm, you will turn into a bloody mist." Emperor Zi Luo closed his palm and laughed loudly. Boom! Otherwise, at this moment, the huge purple hand would have been sent flying away after shaking violently. Emperor Zi Luo's arm shook, his blood roiling. His expression changed. How was this possible? Who attacked in the dark? Get out here. The others were also on high alert. If Emperor Zi Luo was at a disadvantage, it had to be some other emperor lord. This Lin Wuti was truly sinister. He had secretly brought a great emperor with him. 9 crown king looked up, his scalp tingling. Even Han Qianshan was taken aback. It seemed that she had been too worried. It turned out that this brat had some means to protect himself. He wondered which senior had come. "Stop looking, I am right here," Lin Xian said coldly. "You." Countless eyes looked toward Lin Xian. Emperor Zi Luo snorted. "Kid, don't flatter yourself. You can beat my palm?" He didn't believe it. It wasn't that he hadn't fought Lin Xian before. Last time, he hadn't killed Lin Xian. That was because Lin Xian had the complete sky-devouring jar and the great dragon sword spirit. Both of these items were at the level of a martial monarch, and they were fully awakened. That was why he hadn't been able to kill him. Just now, he hadn't felt the sky-devouring jar or the great dragon sword's power. This meant that someone else had attacked him. "You are really ignorant." Lin Xian shook his head. The next moment, he raised his palm. "Now, I will let you feel my power." As soon as he finished speaking, he punched out. Chapter 5899. Lin Xian waved his fist and charged over. His golden fist shone like the sun. With a loud boom, great Emperor Violet Fall was sent flying, smashing through the void. What? The great emperor was sent flying? How was that possible? How could Lin Wuti be so terrifying? The Nirvana realm warriors in the valley were all stunned. This scene made their scalps go numb as if they were in a dream. Great Emperor Ziluo was also shocked. He gritted his teeth and roared, "How can your strength be so close to that of a great emperor?" To be able to send him flying. This strength was comparable to his. But it shouldn't be. He was chasing after Lin Wuti before. Now he was as powerful as him. No, your physique. Great Emperor Zi Luo's pupils constricted. 9 yang divine body. Your physique has reached phenomenal success. As soon as these words came out, the people of the Nirvana realm gasped. It was said that a phenomenal success divine body could fight against a great emperor. They didn't expect it to be true. This guy's strength was too terrifying. The 9-yang divine body was very difficult to reach phenomenal success, but he succeeded. That's right, my divine body has reached phenomenal success. So are you ready to lose? Lin Xian said loudly. Kid, you're too arrogant. So what if you've reached phenomenal success? I'm a great emperor, higher than you. I'm still stronger than you. I'll kill you in your strongest state and let you die in the most desperate state. Great Emperor Zi Luo roared and charged out. His palm turned into a purple cloud that filled the sky and swept across the sky. Lin Xian laughed and waved his fist to fight back. The two fought fiercely, shaking heaven and earth and shattering mountains and rivers. It was as if the end of the world had happened. The surrounding people all retreated frantically. It was too terrifying. These two people were too terrifying and had infinite power. What made them even more frightened was that Lin Xian could really fight against a great emperor. Haha, great emperor? Is this all you've got? Lin Xian's divine body was unparalleled. His fist could break the universe, and great Emperor Zi Luo's body kept shaking. Great Emperor Zi Luo was so angry that he vomited blood. He was underestimated by a young man. Purple immortal seal. He roared. Immortal chi erupted from his body, condensing into a large seal that slammed over. Endless light. Seeing that his opponent had unleashed his ultimate skill, Lin Xian also unleashed his own ultimate skill. Endless light flew out from his body, illuminating the world. It was as if the god of light had descended. Brat, it's useless. You're not my opponent at all. You'll fall under my mental cultivation technique. Great Emperor Zi Luo sneered. The purple immortal seal descended and collided with the boundless light. A shocking sound rang out. Indeed, the boundless light was shattered by the purple immortal seal. Emperor Zi Luo was immensely pleased with himself. Suddenly, however, his pupils shrank. Damn it, how could it be like this? Emperor Zi Luo suddenly exclaimed, because he realized that the violet immortal seal had been blocked. It turned out that the boundless light had gathered in the air to form a mirror. It was like a divine sun mirror, extremely terrifying. The mirror emitted a ray of light that split the immortal seal in half. Impossible. You actually managed to break my immortal technique. Emperor Zi Luo was completely dumbfounded. Although his soul wasn't complete, he was still a great emperor. He had immortal chi. How terrifying was he? His immortal technique definitely surpassed everything. No one could beat it. But now it had been blocked by his opponent. Damn it. Was this the power of a greater success divine body? How could it be so powerful? Could it be that you used your divine body to enter 10 Crown King? Thinking of this, his scalp went numb. Even great emperors hadn't reached this level. When Lin Xian heard this, he sneered. What? Are you shocked? What will shock you is yet to come. This isn't my full strength. Later, I'll let you know the meaning of despair. Not his full strength? When the otherworld powerhouses heard this, they went crazy. How strong was this Lin Wudi? Could it be that he already had the combat power of a great emperor before becoming one? Brat, you can never offend a great emperor. I'll let you die in despair. Emperor Zi Luo roared. Immortal chi erupted from his body, condensing between his eyebrows to form an eye. It was a vertical eye, completely condensed of immortal chi. It was called the Eye of the Violet Immortal. A powerful immortal technique burst forth from those eyes, causing one's soul to tremble unceasingly. The purple light charged directly at Lin Xian. A soul attack? Haha, this is too funny. Your soul isn't even complete. How dare you use such a soul attack? Lin Xian threw his head back and laughed. Sun God roar. Lin Xian roared. The power of his divine body erupted, turning into sound waves that swept out. The universe was shattering. The surrounding experts of the Nirvana realm were instantly torn apart and fell from the sky. His voice could destroy everything. Damn it, he was too strong. Run. These people fled one after another. Their terrifying voices and terrifying gazes clashed together. Dazzling laws erupted. It's useless. You're not a complete great emperor. You can't fight me. Today, I'll kill you, the great emperor. Lin Xian was getting more and more powerful. Die for me. Emperor Zi Luo's expression was cold. He kept waving his palms. Endless immortal qi condensed, forming laws that rushed down. Purple clouds formed in the sky. Within those clouds, there were illusions of immortal mountains that quickly condensed. Finally, with the roar of the great Tao, it fell down, crushing everything. Lin Xian clenched his right fist and flew out like a sun. It turned into a sun in the sky. The golden crow grew wings and 3 claws. It kept waving it, tearing an immortal mountain apart. Endless gravel flew, and huge rocks rolled down. The immortal mountain cracked. The sun golden crow roared and shot out flames to meet the attack. Damn it! Emperor Zi Luo turned into a purple bolt of lightning, shuttling back and forth. At the same time, his hands gathered to form a sky diagram. Purple light erupted from it, forming all kinds of strange phenomena to fight against it. The sky diagram enveloped the sun golden crow, trying to refine it. The two collided again, creating an earth-shattering sound. Boom! 9 suns divine fist. Lin Xian kept waving his fists. In an instant, he punched thousands of times. This made Emperor Zi Luo feel as if he was struck by lightning. He kept retreating. In the distance, the spectators on the other side of the river felt their scalps go numb. Was Emperor Zi Luo being suppressed? Was he at a disadvantage? They were all crazy. Was a phenomenal success, divine body, so terrifying? He had not become a great emperor yet. If he became a great emperor, who could be his match? Good boy, I've really underestimated you. Emperor Zi Luo's face was pale. There were flames of anger in his eyes. I didn't expect you to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with a great emperor. However, you've angered me. Although half of my soul is missing, my body is complete. I'll let you see the true body of a great emperor. Emperor Zi Luo took a deep breath. The immortal qi pattern covered his entire body. It crushed the heavens. It was as if he was a deity and his body was constantly bursting forth. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.